listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Trying to walk out in front. That got stopped by Slavin. Theodore dropped off the backboard, knocked in. Vegas wins in double overtime.
Hassel to inbound. Fox gets it. Bridges on him. 4 seconds. Fox to Wembanyama. Pulls up. Jumper. Won't go. Rebound taken by Vassell. It's over. It's over. The Knicks survive. This magic carpet ride continues.
Swing, and this is Farrell. High, deep right field, all the way down! Grand slam Torres! Alabama in the top of the 7th inning, now in front by a 7-2 score. One giant swing by Jason Torres towards Omaha.
Winning run at second, bottom 9, the pitch. Yes, swings and drives one, deep to center field. Takeuchi going back, and again! He's going back to Overhaul!
1-2. Swing and a miss! Georgia's headed back to the College World Series. Parker strikes it well. Left center field. 1-run game.
Man, what is going on? 2 national tournaments, close a couple other times.
Ground ball, could do it. To second for 1, to first, double play. Look out, Omaha, here comes Troy.
Good morning, welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, that sounds like trash. Good morning to our YouTubers. I'm going to try to say good morning and be professional before we get all squirrely. Just good morning. Thank you guys for joining us. I think
good morning again.
So many days in a row I can appropriately greet people.
Yeah.
I mean, got to probably try to be professional. Maybe set the lineup, say hello.
Today on the show, we've got Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald.
I mean, like, at some point, we probably do need to do that. I know it's a bit where it's a crapshoot, but
I like surprising people.
I think we kind of, maybe it's before we take the first break. I just was thinking about our mechanics. I was like, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's actually try to be professional.
Do you want me to randomly insert the next guest just mid-sentence, just randomly throughout the first segment?
I don't think
at 8:30 we have Sean Callahan.
I don't think you're gonna be a guy that enjoys doing that because it's inevitably gonna get away from you. But I'm just working on that. I would like to say good morning to our streamers, though. Do we call them streamers? What are they?
Viewers, streamers? I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm gonna really need to have happen, though, I don't know if I should try to hold the company hostage.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need a phone, though. Going to need a phone.
Yeah.
I think that's speaking of professionalism.
Who would you like to talk to?
Well, just whomever.
Anybody?
Just whomever.
I know. I know. TK wants the phone.
The inability to converse it's kind of it's not difficult to do. It's just a lot less fun.
Yeah.
I need fun.
I mean, to each their own. I know. I've never been big on the phone calls.
I've never really worked with anybody that enjoys it.
Yeah, they're okay. Listen,
because right, Shane? I think historically,
I would say historically, you're probably right.
It seemed like Sharp enjoyed him to a certain degree.
He would. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think he was it Sharp to you or the producer or the manager that was like, "Hey, don't take a bad first call." Was that a Sharp thing or was that our manager?
That was probably a manager thing.
Severe was okay with it.
Yeah, he was all right.
But he was kind of moody. So you
depended on the day.
Just never really knew.
Yeah.
Right. Like some days he just wasn't trying to hear it.
I will say this. The good phone calls are incredible. It's just the variance that you just don't know what you're going to get. That's what I don't love.
Yeah, I think there's something about my personality that enjoys hitting off-speed pitches.
Yeah.
I don't really. like not in my real life.
Yeah.
But
dead red fastball guy.
I prefer to know what's coming,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird with the calls because you often don't. But
yeah, there's certain callers that I'm like. Anytime Wyatt was going to call in, I was like, all right, we're good here.
yeah, I could see myself.
Who was our guy? Derek in Alliance.
Yeah, Derek
he was good. He was batting like 1,000.
Derek was sensational.
Yeah,
Derek was sensational.
TK was good as long as he wasn't working out.
TK's cadence.
Yeah, he needs to
very, very Charles Davis-y.
It was worse when he was lifting.
I don't know if I'm like hopping in. Is the pause room to jump in?
Yeah. No, I get that for sure.
You know what I mean?
Lance had some good calls.
Michigan Lance?
Yeah.
Yeah, out of breath Brian. There's
out of breath Brian.
There's a lot of guys.
Jack.
Yeah.
We used to get Jack every once in a while.
I'm tired. Jack Jack never told us how much if he did or didn't enjoy his cruise.
Get tired.
Does Jack seem like he would like the confines of an ocean liner?
So he kind of strikes me as, they do those cruises up in like Alaska
I can't imagine Jack enjoying being on a schedule.
Well, I think you've got some freedom in the.
You do, but I don't know.
He strikes me as
what if Jack doesn't want to get off the boat?
I don't think you have to.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you just chill if you want to. I don't know. I'm not a big ocean guy, so I'm not going on a cruise.
I have been on a cruise. I was on a cruise with a broken thumb. It was not very much fun being in a very small bathroom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kim, of course, too. She's like, what of my chopped liver? She apparently had. We didn't mention her on the calls.
So let's get over that.
She felt some kind of way about that.
Wait,
I didn't even know she was in the chat.
I didn't even know she was in the chat.
I think there's a lot of people in the chat that just like lay in the cut, that don't say much until.
Sometimes we'll have like 1,500 people viewing.
Yeah,
so it's like
there's obviously a bunch of people not saying things.
Jack, did you enjoy the cruise? That's all.
Interesting. That's an interesting cruise destination.
Yeah, Jack has more money, it seems, and he probably knows what to do with.
That seems like those would be like my locations on a cruise.
Malta, huh? Italy, I wonder. So he's probably not interested in Pac because he moved, but that'd be all right.
He's down in Australia now, right?
No, New Zealand.
Oh, my bad.
I don't understand why you keep messing it up.
I mean, I know that they're very different and they don't like each other that much, but they're like in the same part of the world.
Historically, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, you don't want to call an Australian a Kiwi. That's going to go over poorly.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Australians go, just Aussies, I guess. Yeah, I don't call them.
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, you don't want to call like a New Zealander
not that.
An Aussie. That would go.
No, so good morning to our people.
Yeah, looks. And then at 9:45, we'll talk to Eric Sorensen. Stitchhead.
Yeah.
Talk baseball.
Man, plenty to talk about.
Boom, lineup set.
Hey, how about this is when I enjoy probably Rob Anderson the most. Now, it's very rare. It's like I enjoy him.
Did you see Kel Jam?
No, what'd KJ say? Oh, he's not. Okay. See, he's back to this KJ already. I was in the this is way too much. Do you know I actually thought about him yesterday in the kitchen? Because I don't know why something popped up on the Discord, and I was like, do I turn on or off the notifications or whatever? And so I just was wondering like what people's real names are. And I was like, oh, he could be like Kelly Jameson. He could be like,
So you were thinking of Kel Jam, not Tupac?
Kelvin Benjamin?
So I went through the whole KJ scenario because I'm like, does he like KJ? Like I called him KJ immediately.
Yeah. I mean, Austin famously does
my
not
boy,
KJ, but he allows us.
Yeah. So he lectured me. He low-key lectured me on the way to Kansas City that his mom was concerned that he allows me to call him AJ because AJ he's only referred to AJ, I think, by her. Or maybe somebody in the family. I was too busy laughing at other things to get all the funny stories down, but I did not know. So once we got, AJ, I was quickly wanting to move off of AJ.
Yeah, so you want Ashton Jackson.
And then now he'll every now and then I'll still drop AJ on it.
Yeah, you get a lot of Jimmy Neutrons though. That's your go-to.
He's definitely a Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, that was the
Kelvin Benjamin is not a Panther legend.
He's a Florida State legend.
There's nothing really legendary about.
He had a great rookie year.
Benjamin's career.
Great rookie year, and I think he kind of faded after that.
Yeah.
I think he went over a K his rookie year.
So funny that we're starting with more Panther talk than Knicks talk. I do enjoy this. Thank you.
Well, so
My mayor Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian New York.
So I am intentionally not acknowledging Rico because Rico
is on that nonsense.
Came in with basically playing a boombox.
Yeah.
So I was not going to.
You're lucky I don't have a boombox.
So I was not going to acknowledge the shenanigans.
He wouldn't be able to figure out a boombox.
You have to.
Yeah, I would. I'm old enough.
You have to let us, Suave, entertain you.
Absolutely
you cannot.
not. I entertain myself, and
you cannot.
it's great.
Sure, blanket biter. You
no blankets were bitten this weekend.
Throw your Knicks fandom onto us. Although Ravi and I did decide, I don't think we could weather a Knicks championship.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got that in us.
Okay. I don't know if anybody would be more obnoxious.
I was like biting the blanket.
What? Especially for somebody that's apparently likable.
Yeah.
I told you guys that if they win, it's going to be a problem.
Gosh.
Kelvin Benjamin's catch percentages are terrible.
Yeah, he said
if you had to guess, okay. I was right, by the way. His rookie year, he went over 1,000. He never touched it again.
Mm-hmm.
Second year, he was at like 940. He was close, but didn't, What would you guess his? So on 73 receptions, he went for 1,008 yards.
Mm-hmm.
How many targets do you think he had that year?
Of the 73 receptions?
Yeah.
Knowing Kelvin Benjamin, I'd say 138.
145.
God,
that's pretty good. But I mean, the guess was good. It's a terrible catch percentage.
Yeah.
Horrifying. That's his entire career. He's at 51.2% for his career on catch percentage.
51.2 is also the amount of weight he gained since the Panthers to when he retired.
Once he got that bad,
I think he gained that while in the league still, man.
Yeah, no. He was famously a biscuit away from being a tight end.
And then he was
Popeye's biscuit.
And then he became a Popeye's biscuit away from being an offensive tackle. He passed the tight end.
Well, let me say, can I just say something with this biscuit talk?
Yeah.
This is on the heels of me watching Beat Bobby Flay again. I'm kind of on a heater. I think 4 of the last 5 I've watched, the other chef has won.
Mm-hmm.
But he did biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
And I'm not a
You're
biscuit.
not a big biscuits and gravy guy, right?
I'm not a biscuits guy, but I will say this. There's this one guy I watch, Dre, who does like food reviews, and he famously can just put a whole biscuit in his mouth, and just chew no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's weird.
Popeye's on my algorithm. Their biscuits take a lot of heat.
They're pretty dry.
I think it's very much a location specific.
Oh, okay. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't know if this was a time thing or if it was a location thing. I remember when I was a kid really enjoying Popeye's biscuits.
Yeah, I did too.
Now I do find them pretty dry.
Yeah, I never understood the honey thing.
Oh, I like honey.
But I'm team syrup. I cook with honey. I wasted honey this weekend on some country style ribs.
Oh, really?
Oh, they were sensational.
I like honey on like biscuits or like so. Yeah, I'm honey guy.
And I've
not on like waffles or anything, just on like biscuits or cornbread.
Really?
Yeah.
So honey greater than syrup?
I don't know about greater, but different purposes. Like I can't think of anything that I would use honey for that makes sense for me to use syrup or vice versa. Like I would never put honey on like a waffle or pancakes. That doesn't make sense to me. but I wouldn't put syrup on.
Historically, don't you use syrup with biscuits? When did we start doing the honey thing? Or was honey always a biscuit thing?
I've never heard of syrup with biscuits. That might just be a me thing, but I've never heard of that. It's all
honey and jelly with biscuits.
Yeah, yeah. I like jelly too. I like jelly a lot.
We don't make syrup packets though. We just make syrup cups.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get like the little
like the cups.
Yeah, the sealable ones, but yeah, you don't get like the ketchup packet type that you get with honey sometimes, which I don't love.
I've seen a syrup packet.
Have you?
Yeah, they're longer.
Like an actual packet.
Yeah, they're longer than like a ketchup
one that
packet.
People would like.
Yeah. Really? Like so one time.
Do you remember where?
At band camp?
It was a restaurant somewhere. Never went to band camp. It was a restaurant somewhere. Because I was very confused because I was expecting the little cup thingy.
He was barely alive when that movie came out.
I don't know if he was.
Yeah,
I was alive. One time at band, I was alive.
Okay.
That's 99. So he was a little kid, but he was alive.
Just off the old Rolodex.
So we were having a conversation in the office the other day about what years had produced the best movies, like top to bottom. And one of the famous arguments is 99. You have like The Matrix and Fight Club, and there's a bunch of really good ones in 99.
Shane, we like one during our era. What was it?
94 is incredible.
I think the 90s are overrated, but you bring a good point up there with the 99.
94 is an incredible year. You got like Shawshank, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump. Like there's just bangers.
Don't we have one in the 80s, Shane? What was the Breakfast Club year?
That was 84, I believe.
Raiders. There's a year in the 80s that is really, really good.
That would have had like Raiders and Blade Runner.
Not Star Wars.
Empire
Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That would have been 82. Right? 82?
No, 80.
80?
Yeah.
What was
77 for first one, 80 and 83.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
74 made the list. It's like Godfather.
74 is an amazing year.
Like, it's fine.
It's an amazing year.
I think like Godfather. I think like the French Connections, and like 74 makes the list. I didn't think.
Speaking of overrated,
what?
French Connection.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were gonna say Godfather, and I was gonna walk out. Like I love that movie.
The French Connection.
No, The Godfather. I thought you were gonna say The Godfather was overrated.
I didn't watch Godfather till late. I was a full blown.
I was
halfway functioning adult
in my 20s. Yeah, I was in my 20s when I saw it. Which I don't think
Godfather was famously during COVID.
Yeah, you banged out all three, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Famously.
You John Wick to those things.
John Wick.
Did you do the same thing with John Wick?
I did the same thing with John Wick.
Yeah.
You talk about I really like John Wick, and I stumbled on it.
Yeah, I think I was doing a show with you the next day because you came in. You're like, I didn't get much sleep. I watched all three John Wick. I was like, what the hell, man? And that's before I knew that you just didn't sleep ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we got the show to do, bud.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I was on a John Wick rush because I don't like Keanu Reeves.
I think he is super role specific. Like if you get him in the right role, he's great.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was that?
Keanu. Shane.
No, we're not doing that. No, say his name right.
Bussies.
No, say it right. Say your name right.
Oh, which was giving me Antebellum vibes because she would not say her name famously. Yeah, I don't see Rico. I struggle with that. Because I played with a Toby and I'm still a little traumatized. I'm not a big say my name guy. Just saying for the record.
Say my name. Say my name. No?
No.
Is that TLC?
No, that would be the other female black group in Vogue. No, I'm just kidding. It's Beyonce. It's Destiny's Child.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kitty Girls.
What? You're hopeless.
The Pussycat Dolls.
Those are white.
What?
No, I think they had one.
Do they?
Minority.
I don't know if I want to Google this on my work computer.
Why are you so?
How many minorities were in the Pussycat Dolls?
How many? Why do you not like black people?
There's been a lot of members in that group.
Why do you not like black people?
That's not true at all. I like you a lot. Rico's cool. I like Kenny.
How do you not know?
That's 1 2/3 black people right there.
Wait, Where are you putting Kenny?
Say that.
Me and him make up the 2/3.
I don't think that's right, man.
Kenny,
That's not even how alleles work.
I don't know, man.
You can't be a third of anything. That's
I
not.
was gonna say 3/4. I messed up. Just gotta roll with it.
So you're all about fractions and saying people's names this morning. You're not off to a good start.
I don't know if I want to say this or not.
Do it.
Well, it's almost June 19th. You should be fine.
I hung out with 2 black people this weekend.
Really?
None of them work here.
Wow. I'm so proud of you.
I hung out with Jermaine on Saturday, and I hung out with Cliff on Sunday.
I think I would really, really like spending time with Jermaine.
Jermaine's great. He's my boy.
Does he enjoy his new life?
Yeah.
Late in the game.
He was actually talking about that when we were hanging out Saturday afternoon.
Is he 4 on 3 off?
I think so, yes. I know his schedule is like it seems sporadic to me in terms because he never has the same days off, so that would make sense if it's 4 on 3 off because it's always sort of rotating. No, we were actually talking about this afternoon where he was like, because his mom worked in the department but not as an officer, and he like called her and he's like, hey, like thank you for encouraging me to do this. Like this was really good.
Yeah, late in the game.
Yeah, because he worked in schools for a long time. Yeah, but yeah, that was like randomly brought up. Like he brought that up. He's like, yeah, I'm like really grateful that this is what I decided to do.
Interesting. They just had a new graduating class too.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I didn't have kids, that would be something I used to really want to do.
He's got the right temperament for it. Like pretty even keeled, like not going to get too worked up about stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's.
Did you guys have some like Lucky Dog seltzers?
Good de-escalator. No, he was drinking
nice Arnold Palmer.
I was having a seltzer, as I'm sure you're stunned by.
Of course you are.
And then, although I did have a mixed drink later.
Let me guess. You probably had, I don't know, something manly like a Dirty Shirley.
No.
I
needed a little pick me up. So it was later in the evening, and so
Red Bull and vodka.
I did. It was a sugar-free Red Bull vodka.
that's so on brand.
Listen, just need a little pick me up, and you need a little alcohol in there. So need a little energy.
Where'd you guys hang out?
We went to a couple different bars.
Really? You still do that?
Every once in a while, not a lot. Natasha had like some friends over, and I was like, I need to get out of the house. So.
Yeah, you told me that on Friday, and I felt like such a turd burglar for like kind of hammering you over. You're like, look, man, girls are different. Like, I was like, hey, do you want to come over and watch TV? Do you remember that whole deal in the parking lot?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if he's mad.
Oh, I don't care. No, she had some friends over to, it was one of their birthdays. And so they wanted to like watch movies, and I don't know, I think they're like doing crafts and stuff too. And I was like, I probably don't need to be in the house for this.
Yeah, that's
so I hung out with Jermaine.
It's definitely different.
Some of our crew,
Hey, what do you guys got going? My wife's crafting.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we should go.
She's crafty.
We should go out.
Yeah,
and we did. It was fun
for some.
And then I played tennis with Cliff
for some. Oh, jeez.
What?
Nothing.
You just got 2 minorities out there playing tennis on a Sunday morning. The world's come a long way.
Was Zverev was he your inspiration?
I'll be honest. I got more emotional than I was expecting about that.
Dude, he's got to be the oldest dude to be winning a major, doesn't he?
He is the second. He's played the second most majors to win his first after Goran Ivanisevic.
How did I not know you would know that?
It was his 41st
right up your alley.
major. Ivanisevic played 48 before he won one. I was like,
good amaretto. Do amaretto sours even work? Like, what's the point?
I like amaretto sours.
Of course you do.
Yeah, they're delicious. Why wouldn't I?
Oh God. Yeah.
No, it's pretty good.
Dr. Octagon, you missed that segment.
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about this.
So
go back and listen.
I'm not touching that with a 28,000. I wouldn't touch that with Shane's poll.
I was like, it actually kind of caught me off guard. like how like I'll be honest, I was a little choked up. Like it meant a lot to me. Like
team type 1.
Yeah, it was actually, and
it's not John Carlo. This was just
it's like represent, fight the power. No, it was what?
I'm not going to stand for your
my bad.
Your off color stuff. I've already got Mr. 3/5 say my name over here.
No, it was there was a point in the match like he gave himself an insulin shot, and you saw that like on TV, and like that was really cool to watch. And then there was a point in the 4th set where like I could tell he was having like a bad diabetic moment. Like you could tell, like it was really weird because like the way he was moving, I knew exactly how his body felt. Like I could see it, and I was like, oh, like I thought he was going to lose at that point. That's when he like blew the tiebreaker in the 4th set, and I was like, I don't know if the insulin's going to kick in fast enough for this to turn around. And like it was so, man, I was playing like 2 weeks ago, and my blood sugar spiked during a tennis match, and I was toast. And I get that I'm not a world-class athlete. I get that, but I knew exactly how he felt. And I was like, I'll be honest, I got like a little upset because I was like, don't lose it like this. Don't lose it because of this. And like if it was the nerves or whatever, I was like, I can live with him like if he chokes, but I was like, don't lose it because of the diabetes. Like that would have broke my heart.
I feel like my fandom is a lot more shallow now.
What do you mean?
It's a lot less meaningful.
No,
well,
I mean
you're
like
over here empathizing with type 1 diabetics pushing through, and I'm on my deck saying, if you let USC win this thing, I may not go to the CWS. I feel like those are different things.
They are, but you've had this experience with other athletes. Like, I mean, I know.
So the
closest thing I can come up with is Marlon Briscoe.
Correct.
Like in terms of something that like broke through in a way. Like this has never happened with a type 1 diabetic before. They've never won anything like this.
Yeah.
Like not in an individual sport, not in something like they played tennis for 4.5 hours yesterday.
Yes.
Like that's crazy.
The Marlon Briscoe thing is
that's the one I thought about yesterday.
Is definitely something for a multitude of reasons. Number one, what he had been through, right? Yeah. The relationship with my dad. Number two, the fact that for so long I fought the stigmas that go with being a black quarterback because I knew what people thought.
Yes.
So I didn't want to be a runner.
Yeah. You fought against your own self-interest.
Right. Just because
to prove people wrong.
Yeah. Is there anything more?
No, that's I'm glad that hasn't changed.
Pretty on brand.
But that's
the wonder why your kids are the way they are.
No, so we had a fantastic conversation. He and I don't. As we get ready, so I'm already emotionally preparing to go to Iowa City on Thursday. I started on Saturday.
Yeah.
I actually it curbed a lot of my extracurriculars because I had to stay pretty even keeled. And it's like I understand, Rico, fully what I'm dealing with. He is fully.
Oh, I mean,
Michigan Lance sent me something the other day. It was so good and so deep. I was like, it's too much for a t-shirt, but just in dealing with his, like how this recruiting thing is going to go with him is, nope. I know what I'm dealing with, Rico. You guys got a funny sense of humor. He's like, used to mad that they held your dad over your head during school when you were a kid, huh? Oh, I fought it the whole way. The whole way. I mean, it was atrocious.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad kid, but he's very different.
Did you feel I didn't feel like Caleb got a ton of that. Am I misremembering?
No, but remember, so I struggled. Why I melted down during his recruiting is because I felt like I didn't do enough.
Like you didn't advocate for him enough?
And I let a lot of things go that I felt like were ultimately going to be detrimental for the fear of not wanting to be overbearing.
He also didn't do a bunch of the stuff too, right?
He didn't do anything.
Because he wanted to play hoops still.
He didn't do anything.
And so he didn't camp. He didn't do the offseason workouts.
He didn't know anything. And I was like, I have completely failed as a parent.
Well, you think he ended up okay?
He's fine.
But
I'm just telling you, like in the moment, you're watching it unfold.
yeah, no, I remember talking to you about this, about like, well, did I do enough? I didn't want to overstep and didn't want to be overbearing. But I don't remember, like, in terms of him playing, I don't, maybe positionally it helped that he wasn't,
Yeah,
I don't remember people being like, is he better than DB or whatever? Like, I don't remember that until Rhule gave you a hard time about it once he got on campus.
Yeah, he said something this week. It's funny when we were talking about development and recruiting and how can I say this? So there's just a couple guys around and Rhule was like, and this whole development thing, we're just talking about like development and what it looks like versus what we think from the outside. And he said, as a parent, you watched your kid run. He ran mid 4.4s. And Coach Rhule, he knew both times. He's like, he ran this after 1 week of mat drills. Then he came back and he ran this. And he said, you can't, in terms of development and carrying his muscle mass and this, that, and the other. He said, well, it's hard to say unless you're watching progress that we're not developing.
And that's probably
right. And so I was just, it was just a very interesting conversation because on the heels of looking at, we've been on this for a couple of weeks now, the star rankings versus fit and, the anonymous coaches with what Minnesota and Illinois and Iowa do and the evals. Like we've kind of been on this thing full circle. And it's like, it's just fascinating when you put actual, like when you just see what schools do.
Yeah, there's actual data on it.
Yeah. Like I know it's like just like getting ready to go to Iowa, right? Like I know what he has to do.
Yeah.
And it's very little of what he would have had to do at, like, let's say camp at Nebraska.
Sure.
Right. And it'll be different the next time. It's very school specific, but it has to fit their.
Yeah, what they're looking for.
What they're looking for.
Yeah, what they want the end goal to be.
So it just, I don't know. It's
I actually find that encouraging.
Which part?
The different, they ask them to do different things based on what they want to see, right? Because that gives me an idea. Like if you're kind of just running through generic camp stuff, and obviously I've never been through this process, so I don't know. We talked about this a little bit last week about kind of the setup and the schedule and things like that. But like I have no frame of reference for, well, Iowa does it this way, Nebraska does it this way, Illinois does it this way, Wisconsin does it this way. But it makes sense if you know what you're doing and if you know what you're looking for, you're going to want to see if guys can do very specific things, right? And that will give you the indicator of, like, if you're Jeep Wade, right? When we talked to Jeep, he's like, hey, I want athletic guys, right? I want guys that can move. I want guys that can pull. I imagine on Pass Pro, he wants those guys that have like a super fast, like kickback step so they can get back and into position where they want to be. So there's probably things he's looking for in an offensive line camp, in the big man camp, as opposed to what other people are looking for. If you're not trying to get a bunch of pullers, then maybe you don't care how fast your guard and tackle can get around your center, right? Like maybe that's just not something you're even looking at a camp. So that to me, I think is actually very encouraging, because if you can, this is the thing I talked about before. If you know what the end product is supposed to look like, then identifying the mold of clay that can get you there is a lot easier.
Like to your point, I was talking to one of our parents whose son is he's not quite knee deep. He's probably shin deep in the recruiting process. And his dad said something to me yesterday that I felt like was really, really funny. He said, is explosive a code word in coach speak? And I think what he was saying, and this is fresh off of camping, so emotions can run high for parents sometimes when you get evals. And I was like, actually, it's not really coach speak. It's just kind of the way that the game is moving, where you have to be able to play it at 45s. I don't care what position it is.
Being bendy is important.
Not so much bendy.
Mhm.
Bendy is an elite skill.
Okay.
That you can see from big guys that put you over the top in
Gotcha.
terms of good to great.
Okay.
Like you can be a really good player and not be as bendy. If you're a big guy and you're really bendy, you're
next level.
It's like a whole new world.
Okay.
So to his point, it's like certain schools will look for certain things. Now, you go to a different school where they play a different style, you'll have to have a certain baseline level of twitch, but it won't be as like it just varies.
They weigh it differently.
It just varies where you go to school and what stylistically how they want to play. You know what I mean? So it just like to your point, knowing what you want the end game to look like, different schools will look at it differently. And plus schools know what they're good at.
Yeah.
Right. So they're willing to say, oh, he has this, and this. We'll take care of the rest.
Good schools with established staffs know what they're good at.
Yeah. So it was just kind of a fascinating deal, especially knowing how I think his son will eventually be able to play. It's gonna be a fascinating process.
That to me, the schools know what they're good at is sort of the thing that I've landed on in terms of like the common thread that's been what's wrong with Nebraska over the last couple decades is at no point have I thought Nebraska knew what they were good at, and B, even thought they knew what they wanted to be good at. That was the hardest. That's been sort of, I think, the hardest part when you talk about development or recruiting or evals or just lack of consistency, because if you don't know what you're good at or what you want to be good at, that creeps into a lot of things on the field too, not just off-season stuff.
Just look at what happened, right?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unique where Callahan came in with philosophically and was completely different from anything that Nebraska had ever done, right? Like it was going to take a little bit of time. Bo, who I felt like knew what he wanted to do, changed conferences. They played a different style. He loses his brother. Then the philosophy shifted, and it was kind of quiet.
I felt like defense. I never felt like he knew what he wanted to do offensively, not consistently.
Correct,
but defensively for sure.
And the defensive line play that was kind of a shift.
That's the one I was actually thinking of,
going
because
for how they wanted to play,
to kind of squatty bodies, and
Then Riley comes in and he wants to play a certain way, but that's not his personnel that he inherited. So he has to spend time studying and researching and how to combo this quarterback. And
he never played with a Tommy Armstrong before,
right?
Like
so
that wasn't in his wheelhouse.
Wasn't really comfortable, and then didn't get time. And then I think Frost felt like he knew how he wanted to play. He just panicked, right? So it's everybody had their own thing, I think, for different reasons. And it's just fascinating in a place like this that has had such high success rate up until the last 15, 18 years. It's just an identity crisis, and it doesn't really matter what the identity is.
To have one.
You just haven't had one.
That's why I think I know it's a kind of a punchline. That's why I think people sort of obsess over. You've got that group of people. It's like, oh, we got to go back to the option. And that's not a big group. And I don't even know how serious they are, but you hear people say it sometimes. I think it's just about knowing what we want to do. Like every person in the state of Nebraska for 20 years knew exactly what we were trying to do, right? Just, hey, we know what it looks like. We know what guys can be successful in this. We know exactly what Nebraska's trying to do. And there was comfort in that. And you could see it was much easier to say, okay, this is where we're lacking here. Let's go fix that. Let's go get a guy that can do this a little bit better. Let's go get a quarterback that makes a little bit better decisions on the perimeter. Let's go get a running back that keeps the spacing better in the option and can get uphill as soon as he gets the ball. Like we knew exactly what it was supposed to look like. And that hasn't been the case for a really long time. So I don't even think it's about, like you said, what the identity is. Just having one that people can identify and say, yep, this is what it's supposed to look like. And maybe even more so, now I know which places we're missing things. I think brings people an immense amount of comfort when they're watching a team, and I just don't think we've had that.
Yeah, I don't. And we've seen it work in other sports, right? And it simply comes from I think I know. Like we say bolt ball.
Yeah,
like we think we know what bolt ball is supposed to look like.
I think we know what Nebraska men's basketball is supposed to look like.
Right
now,
it's
took a couple years.
You get a clear understanding.
First 3 years, I had no idea what he wanted to do.
And it was very fluid.
Yeah. Because I think it was changing every year based on the personnel they brought in.
It was very, very fluid. So I think.
But the last few, he's dialed that thing in.
The fascinating thing about, and he's doing it with guys like out of the portal and from a recruiting standpoint where it's like not jaw dropping in terms of star rankings or where they're coming from, but he is now getting the benefit of the doubt because we use the F word now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we see how it fits.
Mm-hmm.
We see how it fits. And when we talk to Gas Can, we got Sam's at 8 first, right? So we'll talk to Sam at 8 and then Gas Can at 8:30. I think we close with Stitchhead that you referenced in the first couple minutes. But I think part of the reason that they're able to come off a weekend like they had recruiting-wise is there's just unity of thought in terms of what this is supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think Arch being on the same page as Manning and Corey Brown being on the same page. It's just we already knew that the secondary was kind of coming around because of, Yelch has he has the nickels now, right? And the corners are supposed to play and look a certain way. It's easier when you get guys there and you say, oh, yeah, I can see you can go here.
Yeah.
Or you can go here. This is how we like to teach it.
That's why he kept asking about body types on the defensive line.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for
basically since Corey Brown got hired.
Yeah, because you can kind of see it. It's funny. Tim and I were joking the other day because he's been in demand over the last year, right? I always joke with him. No coincidence. Right? We
were pretty early on, Tim.
Oh, and the funny thing about he and I is one of the reasons, because he wasn't doing any radio, he wasn't doing anything before that.
Yeah.
And when we asked if could I said let's just do something a little different, like about a weekly guest. Nobody's talking to him, right? And one of the reasons that he feels good during the segments is because it takes a different tone, right? It's not just,
hey, who's visiting? Who's going to commit? Where are we at with this guy?
So I think the thing, and he's very cognizant that other people try to recapture that, but it's just different, right? And I say all that to say he's one of those guys that I think we can talk to, and I think Sean gets it to a degree too, because the coaches will confide in him what they're actually looking for, and then he can say, okay, this vibes, this tracks, this doesn't. And that's one of the things that I want to talk to him about this morning, because I think he has a good idea of what they're looking for. So when they get guys on campus, you don't want to ever leave and I don't what's he going to play?
Yeah.
Or how are they going to use him?
What do they see in this guy?
We've gone through that too long.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? So
I think it'll be fascinating to watch on the heels of the development thing that we were talking about this weekend. Of if you can are there going to be the practical applications because you know what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah.
Will we think differently about how we say develop? Because right now we're saying, well, these guys, nobody's getting drafted. They're not developing guys. They're not. I'm just thinking, I don't know, because what I think is guys are leaving better than they got there. So that's where you have to start.
Yep.
To the victor goes the spoils in terms of draft status. When you start winning more games and getting the benefit of the doubt in terms of
you'll get more guys drafted.
Yeah. But you have to start with, are guys leaving better than when I got them?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's not going to be good enough for a while when it doesn't yield the wins you want. But internally as a staff and as a department,
you have to look at
that's where you have to start.
You have to look at progress smaller than wins to get to the wins.
That's the practicality of it, because you're not afforded to be able to fast forward. People will say,
well, you don't play a football game every day,
right? They're still only ranked this or that, nationally in terms of recruiting off the weekend. It doesn't that's for fans to say, They don't care about that. Right. And the people that we want to compare them to, they're famously known for not caring about what other people think. Right. We fawn over Iowa.
Yeah. Never cared about recruiting rankings in Iowa City.
Iowa couldn't care less.
No, they're in like the 40s or 50s
Illinois
pretty regularly.
couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Like schools that know what they're doing, they don't care. It's what negative people want to do in the meantime to like just pee in your cereal. Right. The coaches they're not afforded the fact to say, oh man, what's everybody thinking?
Yeah.
Well, like, how's this? What are they? You don't have time to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know people aren't going to like, was Borkature better when he left Nebraska than when he got here?
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't count for us getting drafted though, right?
No.
You know what I mean? Like there's guys like that too, where it's like, well, that doesn't count, but he was at Texas A&M for 6 months. You think the development happened at A&M?
No.
You know, he was at Nebraska for 4 years and he's at A&M for 6 months, and A&M gets like, I get it. That's how it works. He gets drafted out of A&M. I understand that. But it's not like he, in terms of statistics, lit the world on fire at A&M. He had one huge national play against Notre Dame and pretty pedestrian statistics besides that. But the player that he was at A&M is who he turned into at Nebraska. Right? I get that's just one example, but that's a great example of a guy that we'll look at and isn't going to go on the ledger of Nebraska draft picks. Let's put him on the board, right? But that's a great example of Nebraska development, I think.
Yeah, Ty Robinson left better than when he got here.
Ty, Nash, Bryce Benhart, like pick one. Like, just pick a guy.
Those are the kinds of things, and it's not to validate or vindicate. Those are just the facts. Now, how good down the stretch compared to what everybody else is doing will ultimately be the deciding factor.
Absolutely.
And be more of a contributor in terms of actual wins and losses. But in the meantime, like Emmett left better than when he got here.
Absolutely.
Right.
He's been telling everybody that would listen that, and no one wants to listen. At least not here. Nationally, people are fine listening to him.
Yeah.
But he's told everybody that would listen that's the case.
It's fascinating.
Like, it is.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, careful there. We don't want to knock him over.
Hey, Rico, we'll take a break, but
how come MJ's up here today?
Why did I go with MJ?
I mean, I've never.
He doesn't have a Jalen Brunson head, and Jalen Brunson's a better clutch scorer than MJ according to statistics.
Go to break.
So this is not that far off, though.
No, I get what. Like, come on.
It's not.
Come on, man.
I said according to statistics.
Like, what are we doing?
I hate to do this because I don't really want to like Rico this morning, but there was something to the thought process of staying on the gas when it would be easy not to, right? Because so the reason that I got him is, you know, Nebraska's got to double down on this next week in recruiting where you may be more star-studded than you were this week, and certainly coming up on the 19th. Like, you can't rest.
Well, we're gonna have a couple more announcements this week too.
It would have been easy for the Knicks to like.
Yeah, to lay off the gas after getting the one in. Yeah, you get the one in San Antonio. That's all you really need.
They found a way to like go get. There was a little bit of that in my head with Jordan and being ultra competitive.
Does Brunson get credit for Wemby throwing the ball into somebody's back or no?
He is opportunistic. I mean, whose hands did it wind up in?
That's fine. Who missed the second free throw?
Jeez, man.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Who got in Wemby's face on the mid-range jumper?
No one. He's 7.
Mitchell Robinson.
No one's ever in his face.
Mitchell Robinson.
Not a single person's ever in Wemby's face. He's 7.
Go rewatch it. It was right there.
Oh man,
you're out of your mind.
It's a bad shot.
Yeah, it was. That's my problem with him offensively. Is he takes bad shots.
That's San Antonio's problem.
100%
in general.
Also, like, hey, if Brunson could not be dog crap the first 3 quarters, he might not have to go so hard in the fourth.
Well, maybe if he wasn't getting the shit beat out of him.
And in the fourth quarter, he just stops getting. Are you just cool now?
No, he still is. That's why he missed a free throw. He's tired.
Well, he was tired from missing all shots in the first 3 quarters, or what?
Wow.
Look, man, he's getting the crap beat out of him.
You
said they are not calling anything.
That's a weird hill to try to die on, or at least even set your equipment up on, because Brunson has way earned the benefit of the doubt. Who cares what happens in the first 3 quarters?
No, it's fine.
When
I'm
it's
just annoyed
nut cutting time, he's putting those things on the table.
I'm just annoyed that Rico's comparing Brunson to Jordan. Get out of here.
I'm not. I said statistically.
Yeah, statistically, James
You
Harden.
even argue like a nice guy, man. Tell him to F off. You do you.
Statistically, James Harden's better than Michael Jordan. Get out of here.
That's not true. He's
neutral.
Not in clutch scoring.
He needs some debating toughness. Help him out.
Get out of here. Take a break.
No one is better than Chris Birdman Anderson.
Oh, good.
It's a big Birdman guy.
It's the hairstyle.
Yes, just the hairstyle.
What do you?
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that one, Austin.
Yeah. There's a lifestyle component there. I think you want to avoid there.
Yeah, I'm not big on tattoos either.
Wow. All right, let's take a break. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I'm excited because we do have a lot of continuity in terms of, and we have a lot, the leadership piece is probably the piece that I think you have to kind of wait. You have to push people to lead, but you also have to kind of see how it plays out because we lost seniors. We will not have, we signed a transfer from Minnesota, Nia Holloway, who's a 5th year, but she's new to our team. And so I think that part will be kind of fun to see play out, but also just to see who in our sophomore class, our big sophomore class, has taken that jump as somebody who can be a little bit more vocal and hold each other more accountable. And then obviously just seeing where our 3 freshmen are. I think they're talented, and but yeah, we won't have that older group but I think our talent level and just they always say, whether they're right or not, is the biggest jump you're going to make is from your freshman to your sophomore year. And we have a lot of kids who are making that jump.
The first week of workouts was pretty crazy, I can't lie. First day, went back to my room, went to sleep mad early, but it's good work. It's gonna get us better for our goal. And I'm settling pretty good. I've been here a couple times the last year, so I'm pretty used to everything around here. So yeah. I feel like the relationships I made here for the past couple years, Coach Trey Ziegler, he started recruiting me, I think, my sophomore year, and then just kept the relationship, and it felt like home. The group, I love this group. We all work hard. We all talk. We all make each other better every day. Hold each other accountable. I feel like that's what you need to, win a Big East tournament or even a national tournament.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We're presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. Don't forget to give our friends a call over at Next Gen, 402-614-9700. If you tell them that DB and Ravi sent you, you can get a free vitamin shot with your order, and your order can be whatever you need it to be. Testosterone.
Hercules.
Could be your Hercules shot. Could be your weight
Zeus.
loss.
Could be a Zeus.
They got the Zeus shot. They got peptides. Whatever you need, they got you covered. You could be healing up.
With your amaretto sours and seltzers, you could get Botox.
Different kind of cocktail.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't inject those.
Just trying to be consistent. I love a good amaretto sour.
They are good. Delicious. 402-614-9700.
So refreshing.
You know, if you're not secure enough to drink an amaretto sour, they got some testosterone for you so you can man up a little bit. It's all good. They can help you out over at Next Gen. Tell them that Ravi
where are your numbers?
and DB sent you. I need to get tested again. I haven't been there for a minute.
I don't think I'm up for another panel until middle of July.
Yeah.
I think the 15th.
Middle of when?
July.
Not July. How do you say June?
June.
Okay.
It's only one syllable. It's pretty hard.
What do you mean?
It's pretty hard to screw up.
There's two letters. There's two vowels though. I didn't know
You
if
say
you were gonna...
Junie?
Jean.
Johnny. No, it's July.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Right. KJ, you were 10 minutes behind? Come on, man.
You gotta stay on it, bud.
Quetzalcoatl. Was he an Inca or a Maya? No, Montezuma. He's the Aztec. You know who Quetzalcoatl was? Do you remember Quetzalcoatl?
Huh.
You didn't study the...
Was that like an Incan?
Yeah. The Incas, the Mayas, and...
Aztecs?
Yep.
I'm familiar with the cultures. I don't remember the names.
Why did we do that in history?
I mean, I think it was a fairly important part of our South American history.
Oh, okay.
Or Central and South American. Some of those were in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just right down past the border. Just
right on cue. My man H&H. 19th and 10th in the Big Ten, according to 247 this AM. It's embarrassing how the Nebraska media gets excited that Ahmad Hudson visits with zero intent to commit. Oh, Husker Homer. It's okay.
He seems fun.
My man just gets out of the rack. Talk about nobody having peed in their cereal.
He pees in his own cereal and he's mad about how it tastes. Like, that's such a wild way to live your life.
Like not wanting you to preemptively be happy?
No, like doing the thing that makes you unhappy and then being mad about it. Like, that's what we're talking about here.
It's not even accurate, but okay.
Like,
it's okay.
19th in the country, 10th in the Big Ten.
Hey,
Ahmad Hudson's never coming here. Okay, so what if he never comes here? The other 5 commits were just like, nah, you guys suck. What are we talking about?
And don't get BP started, because you know when he thinks he's right, he's like a pit bull. Like BP will lock and load.
We would have been mad if Mo stayed committed to Minnesota and ended up being good at Minnesota, but now that he's flipped to Nebraska, he sucks, right?
Yeah.
Is that how that works? If DeMontignac goes somewhere else and ends up being good, we're like, oh, why couldn't we close DeMontignac? And then he comes here, it's like, that guy sucks. He's a 3-star. Sucks.
Who talks like that?
I'm guessing these guys. I don't know. These pee in my own Cheerios people and then be mad about the flavor.
No, we can't rock with Cheerios.
I pee in my own. All right, cereal. What do you want?
He says cereal. That's like Shane and his hamburgers.
Hamburgers?
It's cereal.
That's what I said.
No, you said cereal.
Ah,
I thought it was pee in the Wheaties.
I said July.
It is July. What?
Like who?
What's wrong with July?
I mean,
is July worse than athlete?
Who else we got to talk? Like, what if there's somebody that's like highly touted that does commit, ends up not being good, but somebody was trying to tell you they weren't good the whole time, but then they're not good because they came to Nebraska?
No, Rico. Damn. What? I don't have to be on camera.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about?
What? Oh, Rico.
Listen, Husker Homer, if you just want to be miserable, that's cool, man.
I gotta give Rico some grace.
Why is that?
He's just so happy. He has Knicks shoelaces.
He does. He's all decked out. All decked out.
Knicks shoe. Did you see how happy he was when he came back and he saw the bag from Kenny?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was actually.
That was and honestly, like, I don't know if you.
That was kind of heartwarming. I wanted to give him a lean in. I was like, that's awkward.
Have you met Kenny's dad?
No.
Super cool.
So I've seen him in passing a few times.
Yeah, super cool dude. I think it's technically his stepdad. Yeah, the one that was in New York.
Yeah.
Both cool dudes. Met him at his Hall of Fame weekend last year. But so Rico was in the. I don't know why I was on that text, but he like jokingly was like, "Oh, it's because Kenny sent a picture of his dad sitting courtside at the Knicks."
Well, first it was his dad sitting courtside. It was just his feet, like on the court, and I was like, I'm so jealous. And then he sent a picture of his dad with Spike Lee.
It was a selfie with Spike Lee, like sitting next to him.
No,
I almost lost my mind.
Ken, why stream if I'm not going to be in the picture? That's the whole point. They can stream. They don't need me.
And he goes,
correct. Why stream? Like, that's the $64,000 question, Ken.
Because unless you want this entire company to only make $64,000, we got to not do radio stuff. We got to do internet stuff.
Shane, do we have Sam?
He just joined. Yeah.
Oh.
Is he ready to go? Oh, it sounds like he's ready to go. Sam, what's doing on my world? What's up, Sam? How are you doing?
How are you? I'm good.
Sam, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Are you one of those guys, Sam, that gets excited about the CWS?
Absolutely. Yep. I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm down there a couple of days. I do think that the way they've set it up now almost is perfect in the sense that it resets your interest right around the time it would start waning. So when they get to that title series, it's like, oh, here we go again. And I like that. I like that component of the CWS. I think the first weekend is always a ton of fun, meeting all the teams. Obviously, winning the first game isn't hugely important, the first two games. And then getting to that title series right on time. And then something in that title series always happens. Whether or not it's a close series or not, it tends to be dramatic. Last year, obviously, it was the Coastal Carolina coach getting thrown out early in game 2. But yeah. So I'm certainly a fan of the series, and it feels like it's gotten better. Obviously, there's things about Rosenblatt that I will always love and miss, but I think the CWS is as good as it's ever been.
I feel like there's this thing about the CWS and not needing to or being able to have opinions about Rosenblatt that is similar to Nebraska football in playing in the 90s, right? Like those things, they don't have to go together, but it's cool if we want to stay there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I go, and Damon, this is your story too. Obviously, you've lived in Omaha your whole life, or probably close to it.
Yeah.
And I went to games in the 80s. Rosenblatt, the stadium was not full. I mean, I went to, it was great. I'm not trying to say that it wasn't. It was awesome. Again, I grew up there, especially in the bleachers. But when Creighton played in the College World Series is when really the modern College World Series began. Like that day, which is 35 years ago or whatever it was. That's when it was okay. This is an event that you feel pretty darn good. Omaha's never going to lose because it was getting good crowds before then. Certainly 13,000, 14,000. There were nights. There were Saturday nights where it was jam packed, but that was the start of it. And then since then, so Rosenblatt kind of had a golden era there for about 20 years, I suppose, where it was incredible and going to the games were like a total event. And this is back before phones, right? So you didn't know how the game between the Heat and the Mavs turned out, or you're kind of looking around and go, what did Tiger shoot today at the U.S. Open? Seriously, do you remember that? You remember the 08 U.S. Open? That's like the greatest. That's like the greatest. That might be the greatest golf event of my lifetime. Like what he did there and how he did it and how everybody was following it. And I remember going to CWS on like Saturday night and our phones hardly worked and all that stuff. But I know this is kind of a weird rabbit hole to go down, but after they got through the first couple of years at Schwab where the balls needed, they needed to lower the seams and they needed to get some more home runs there because it was rough the first couple of years. There weren't any home runs and it wasn't baseball because baseball has home runs. That's what makes baseball partially baseball. And they figured that out and now the home run is a big part of the sport and again a big part of the CWS and so I like it. And they do an incredible job down there. And again, what do you suppose? Georgia, Texas on Saturday night? That's going to be the Saturday night game probably?
Yeah, I would guess. I think you probably open with Troy and that first one and then close on Saturday night with Georgia and Texas. Let me ask you something. Who would you make the favorite?
Probably some
Georgia.
Team from the SEC Invitational, which is on one side. So I don't know. Out of those 4 teams, one of them. Again, it comes down to who wins the first games. And it's not like Georgia's pitching did nothing over the weekend. They won 2 incredible games, but they didn't dominate Mississippi State by any means. Texas, I'll be candid. I thought Oregon would emerge from that side. I thought Oregon would beat Texas, and I was wrong. And Texas played really well, and so they're probably playing the best coming into this thing. Their coach has been here before, knows how to do it. So I would say maybe Texas is the favorite. No, I don't know that.
Could you see with all the home runs hit, and this is certainly listen. Everybody knows I'm a Carolina fan, but I do think they have the best collection of arms. Right? They can pitch it. They play in a really good offensive-minded conference, and they were able to sustain. This doesn't on paper though look like this golden era, or this isn't like Rocker and Leiter and remember that stretch where there were 2 or 3 years in CWS where you'd be lucky to score 3 runs, right? I don't see that, but could you see any pitching being of relevance here?
Usually is at some point or another. You got to kind of watch the wind and see what happens there, because the ballpark, the playing field is so big.
Georgia's probably the most complete. Would you make
they're the highest seed? I probably would not. A lot of times the overall seeded favorite does not win the College World Series. That doesn't mean that LSU won it last year and 3 years ago, but they didn't do it I don't believe from the number 1 seeded spot, although last year's team was pretty highly seeded. So I think it'll probably be somebody out of that side where it's the SEC, obviously Oklahoma. They got it finished today. Alabama, did they finish? Those 2 teams got to finish it. I don't know that I've ever rooted that much for Texas and Oklahoma before, but I think everybody's rooting for Texas and Oklahoma to play each other. So if Oklahoma loses, then you want to, you want to see the Red River rivalry at the College World Series. You want to see that atmosphere and those 2 fan bases jeer at each other over a sport that I think in some ways has the most football-like fans. Like a lot of football fans are baseball fans, and so it would be cool to see that rivalry play out in Omaha with those fan bases.
Sam, as you kind of look forward to the next week or so, I think Ole Miss had a really good showing here fan base wise a couple years ago. I was a little disappointed we didn't get Mississippi State. Are you expecting like West Virginia to bring the heat fan base wise?
I sure hope so. Yeah. Obviously you're going to drive from there, and you sure hope that they bring a ton of fans. Now, again, it's not a big state. It doesn't have a ton of people in it, but neither does Nebraska. And if Nebraska were in, going to a CWS in some other state, Nebraska would show out. So I'll be curious to see how many West Virginia fans are here. they have a tremendous opportunity to win a game and maybe even win a couple. I do think North Carolina is probably the favorite on that side, although I don't know. Ole Miss is pretty good, and so that they'll be tough to beat. But I think West Virginia has an opportunity to kick this thing off with a victory. I don't think Troy will have a ton of fans there, so I think if you're talking fan base size, I suspect it's going to be Oklahoma, then Texas, then West Virginia, and then whoever comes after that. I think those are probably your three largest fan bases. And if Kansas were to pull off a miracle, obviously, then maybe KU could do it, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to pull that off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. Suspended games are tough.
Yeah,
but they just are. I was shocked. I allowed myself to get excited that Saturday afternoon on Nebraska reset when they had the bases loaded for 1 out, right? And I'm just there's no way. You just don't see that a ton in suspended games.
No, everybody's cold, and so the momentum you generate before the suspension is lost. So, but yeah, I mean, I would anticipate, both of those games going the way of the SEC teams, and we just move forward with what again it would be an excellent field. A lot of SEC teams, deservedly so. They've earned it. If Oklahoma goes to KU and wins 2 in a row, they've definitely earned it. So, I've got no beef with the SEC being here. I think that's great.
Let me ask you something, Sam, and this is a lot of times when Rob does his best work, Anderson.
Yeah.
Just some staggering stats, but perhaps the one that I cherry pick the most is because I've said for a while, I said it to you forever. I think it's the toughest national championship run of the major college sports. Just set up the supers, what you have to go through. Sometimes you play 2 games in one day. It's the only sport, ball bat sports are the only ones that do that. Only one repeat team in the last 3 years, and that's Carolina. 23 other different teams from 24, 25, and now 26. Is that enough data to support my opinion, or did you think that all along? Is it just how baseball goes? Just the degree of difficulty in which it takes to get to Omaha?
I think that supports your opinion. Yes. I think there's a variability in baseball that can happen that creates upsets that aren't the same magnitude of upset like when Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. It's not that. UCLA losing twice to St. Mary's by a run. I know it's cataclysmic, but it's not. UCLA had lost to other state schools. And St. Mary's not a state school in California, but other smaller schools in California all season long. Like that was like 6 of their 9 losses. So no, I think you're right. The data supports that. Now, LSU is a blue blood and won 2 of the last 3, but in order for them to get there, do years ago in sort of outdueling. Like Wake Forest was a great team, and they didn't win the national championship because they ran into a pitching staff that was hot and even better. Maybe the best pitcher that we've seen in the last 15 years, I don't know, or 20 years in college baseball. So I think that's the point I would make, is that like in most years, a team like Wake Forest would win it all because they were great, but they didn't do it because when they got here, ultimately they had to win like 4 or 5 or 6 games once you get here. At most, at the very least, you have to win 4, right? 4 games or 5. You got to win at least 5 games because you got to win 3 before the title series and then 2 in the title series. Well, that's really hard to do, and it favors teams with depth, but it also favors a little bit of luck. How many times has Arkansas been right on the precipice? How many times has Arkansas gotten to the very last out of a game and then lost? That's one of the good examples. And then Arkansas's best team back in 21 didn't even make it here. They lost to NC State, and then NC State was probably steaming toward getting to the finals, and then everybody knows what happened with NC State that year. So yeah, it's it's really, really hard. It's a marathon that, and you don't always know what's on the course. So yeah, it's really tough. You're right. Absolutely. The toughest one of all the bunch.
Sam, changing gears here a little bit as we're about to talk a little recruiting here with
Let's do it.
Rashawn coming up a little bit next, but I wanted to get your thoughts on just the obviously again a bunch of commits, obviously with the surprise visit from Ahmad Hudson. As you're kind of just watching June play out, and there's a couple more of these weekends coming up that are going to be pretty huge also, how do you process this in terms of the commits and the excitement there versus obviously one of these guys is playing or going to help next year? As you're going through this, it's a big deal, but how do you process through everything?
Yeah, I think that Nebraska's had a really good month or so here in the recruiting process, and that followed, I think, a little bit of a tougher month around things. I think they've done a really good job of rallying. They've gotten obviously the 4 guys from Grayson, one of the best programs in the country, and they were able to get what I think is a really good player in Bryce Williams this weekend. He's a very good player and probably a little underrated in my opinion. So Addison Williams is a very good recruiter. They were able to flip a guy from Minnesota, and I don't take that lightly. Minnesota's produced 4 or 5 really good pass rushers in the last since PJ Fleck's been there,
and they know what they're doing from a recruiting standpoint.
Yeah, they do, and so one of the things, I obviously don't cover recruiting inside and out, but over the course of 20 years, I've developed kind of a rule set of the things that I watch for that I think are generally true. And one of the things that I watch for is, who did this kid get offered by? And what does that school do really well? And Minnesota does a really good job with linemen. Now, if Minnesota offering a quarterback, maybe not. But Minnesota offering a lineman, a defensive lineman, when they have sent many guys to the NFL, and they've terrorized Nebraska
under a multitude of defensive coaches.
Right. That's what you watch. You're like, okay, well, if Minnesota thought this guy was pretty good, he might actually be pretty good. And it used to be that way, when Iowa State, when Paul Rhodes was there, and he offered a defensive back. Well, you paid attention because Paul Rhodes was a good coach, and you kind of watch that. Or if Iowa offers a linebacker, well, he's probably pretty good because Iowa's linebackers are good. So or a tight end. If Iowa offers a tight end, Noah Fant, then you should trust that Iowa knows more what it's doing than Nebraska. And Nebraska didn't really offer Noah Fant as a tight end. And so, I watch for stuff like that. And so I pay attention. I watch all the film. You try to watch for dominant play. You're not just looking for a good player, but dominant, just elite, incredible, dominant play on high school, because that's what you need at this level. Anyway, I think Nebraska's done a really good job, and I'm not that surprised. I think Matt Rhule has shown that he can recruit blue chip athletes. I think he has shown that in the time that he's been here. In each class, they've been able to go get a guy that you would say, I'm surprised they got that guy. And I'm not even counting Dylan. I'm leaving him out of that. Now, getting that guy to stay here, like a Prince William and Yellen, is important. But they've been able to get blue chips along the way, and I will not be surprised if Nebraska has a decent season if Ahmad Hudson is here. That won't surprise me. Him coming back on a visit is a huge, huge deal. Now it's going to be a question of, what kinds of seasons do LSU and Nebraska have? And if LSU goes 13-1 and Nebraska goes, 6-6, then I think it's very hard to make. It's a hard case for Nebraska to make. If LSU goes 9-3, which by the way they might, and Nebraska goes 8-4, then I think Nebraska may win, because I think that kid is interested in being a part of something on the rise. And if you go to LSU Lane Kiffin is the story at LSU, and there will never be a player who rises above the star wattage of Lane Kiffin, and we know that because there has not been a player at any school that Lane Kiffin has ever been at that has that's been above the star wattage of Lane Kiffin. So you better be ready to play for Lane Kiffin if you're going to go there, because he's going to be the star of the show.
The interesting thing about that is, Sam, I think if we really want to, I don't know so much about, I think the Hudson recruitment is interesting just because, it's kind of well documented, right? Where LSU kind of botched that thing from the get-go. They had time to come back and re-get it. But if we're talking relationship building, advantage Nebraska, I don't know, and I won't split hairs over what Nebraska has to go for Hudson to consider Nebraska. You know what I think a lot of it has to do with is where he feels like he can function as an individual, not so much the data, because it's too easy to just compare lineage, legacy, and tradition, right? All those things advantage LSU. So it's clearly has to be something other than what we're really seeing, right? They pay him more money. He is the legacy guy. They're better program wise. Am I seeing that too linearly, do you think?
No, I don't. I think Nebraska's, again, I think Matt Rhule's good at recruiting. I think he's very good at recruiting kids and getting them. I think it's not for everybody. I think he would say that it's not for everybody. So I'm guessing they've had guys that come through and like, yeah, this isn't for me. But I think his brand of recruiting is very attractive to certain kids. And he's going to be all over you. He's going to ask a lot of you. He's going to treat you like a man, and he's probably going to be pretty dialed into you a little bit, and I think that's appealing to some kids. It's appealing to Trey Taylor, and it's appealing to some parents. So I think the work that Nebraska's done here is why Nebraska's in the running. I do think that, yes, if you want to go play where where your family did, then I guess you go to LSU. I don't know that that's the same pull as it maybe used to be. And then, I think Kiffin is a big part of it. So I have no doubt that he's a interesting and captivating person. He seems to be. So what he's going to present is, here's my track record. Here's what I've done at these schools. Here are the players that I've coached. And if you want to come here and you want to play for me, this is what we'll be able to get done for you. And, he's going to have to decide if that's, I think it's probably a unique experience playing for Kiffin, though. I don't think it's the same as playing for Matt Rhule. I just don't. So I'll be curious to see how it all shakes out, because that would be a big win for Nebraska, as would the lineman Albert Simeon. That would be a big win too. He's a 5-star. I don't pretend to know that much about that recruiting process, other than linemen cost a lot of money. So does Nebraska have the money to beat A&M? I don't know. Obviously, Jordan Agbanoma didn't come free, so they were able to secure him away from Georgia. So it's hard for me to know exactly what the finances are, and Nebraska may not know, but he went to A&M. He did not commit. He came to Nebraska. So that's a big thing.
Sam, want to go a little off the board here with you a little bit. Obviously, one of the big stories in the NFL has been the Bears seemingly like they're going to move to Indiana. How big of a deal? I think at 17 miles from where they currently play is what I saw. Like, as a Bears fan, like, how big of a deal is that to you?
It's a medium deal. Obviously, I would have preferred that the Bears stay in Illinois. I don't know that Arlington Heights is any closer to downtown Chicago than Hammond, Indiana. So I think it wasn't going to be the downtown by the lake Bears that, when you go to Soldier Field, that's what you experience. So that was going to be lost either way, I think. I understand why. Having been to Bears games, I understand why the logistics there are less than ideal, and they wanted to move on from it. I'm a little disappointed that they aren't in Arlington Heights, just because that probably would have made for like a village, a football village, and the Bears envisioned that, and the state of Illinois wasn't really able to get it done in the way that. Here's the best way to put it. I think they hired Kevin Warren because Kevin Warren did a really good job with the Minnesota Vikings of working with the legislature there and serving as a liaison between the ownership group, the Wilfs, and the legislature, and they got it done. And I've talked to people who covered that, and these are news people, and I think they would say that the Vikings got an incredible deal for that stadium, which is basically in downtown Minneapolis.
How does the current setup not make the Bears any money, though? That seems like a travesty.
If they move to Hammond?
No, in their current deal, how we even got here.
Yeah, well, I think that the Bears felt, the family felt a close relationship with where they were at, and I think they've now been successfully convinced that it was time to cash in. So anybody who's been to Soldier Field understands there's not a lot going on. That there's a fan village on one side, and on the other side, people are basically walking to Ubers. A lot of people are walking to Ubers, and it's again a unique place to go to a game. And so obviously they wanted to set up something similar to what the Cowboys have, right? So Cowboys have whatever you call that thing in Frisco, or whatever, Frisco, Arlington, I don't know. So the point being that they wanted to kind of do something similar. They bought the site at Arlington Heights, an old racetrack, in order to do it. And the Illinois State Legislature was not willing to create the kind of deal that Kevin Warren was able to get for the Vikings up in Minneapolis. Now, all that said, I wouldn't describe the area around US Bank Stadium as a fan village either. I wouldn't describe it that way. It's a beautiful stadium. There's not, as you drive around it, you're not like, well, yeah, this is like a square mile of stuff. It's not that. So I don't know exactly the logistics of what Warren was trying to work through to get the deal where it needed to go. But I do believe that Kevin Warren got the best deal for the ownership people who hired him. And I think that's kind of his job. I'm not going to get mad at him. I think there's a lot of people who are upset with him. And I think that seems foolish to me because his job is to go and get the best deal. Is it unfortunate that it's in Indiana? Maybe. But the proximity of the downtown Chicago is probably better than it is to Arlington Heights. And if they're able to put together the fan village they want to put together, then they'll be able to do what they want to do. They obviously, the New York Giants and New York Jets play in the Meadowlands. The Kansas City Chiefs will still be playing in Kansas City, but they'll be doing it on the Kansas side. Like, these things happen. I think it's a huge loss for the state of Illinois, and they should be furious with the state legislature. But all that said, I think what the state of Illinois said is we're not going to give you the same deal that the Chiefs got or the Vikings got. And so the same thing with Missouri. Missouri lost out to the state of Kansas, which got to the Star Bonds before Missouri did. And now Missouri is going to probably they are keeping the Royals. But in order to keep the Royals, they kind of had to get beaten on the Chiefs. And so, that kind of thing happens.
Sam, just for the record, the Hammond and Arlington Heights are almost exactly the same distance apart from current Soldier Field. One is Hammond and Arlington Heights is 29. But I do understand staying in the state versus leaving.
Oh, it stinks for the state of Illinois. I'm going to remain a fan of the Bears all the way. That's not what. I'm a fan of the uniforms and the sea and the history and Walter Payton and George Halas and all that. That those things don't change. So it's not like the Browns moving to Baltimore. It's not like the Colts moving to Indianapolis. It's those franchises experienced cataclysmic change.
Yeah,
right?
Titans. Yeah,
right. So that's a little bit different. And and both those cities got their teams back, although the Ravens got a different mascot and the Browns kept theirs. But so I think it's a little bit different in that way. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm going to try to get to Soldier Field one more time just to see it. And it's a cool place to watch a game now. I don't know what it was like back when it was open air and all of that. It was probably not the best place to watch a game. Probably got really cold. Now they do a nice job of kind of, walling you off but yeah, it's too bad, I suppose. Too bad.
That's our guy, Sam McKEWON, Omaha World Herald. Sam, appreciate the time as always.
God bless, guys.
We'll talk to you
Have a good week.
Thanks, Sam.
That is Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Coming up next, Sean Callahan from Husker Online. We'll get into the recruiting weekend that was and the couple more we have to go. That's DBM Ravi Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live.
First weeks are always interesting because there's so much energy. Everybody has a good first week, so we're excited about our group, but it's important to have perspective and understand that everybody's excited about their first week. Everybody has a good first week for the most part. Now, the challenge is moving forward. How do we sustain the effort, the enthusiasm, the communication that we've established this first week? That'll be the challenge moving forward. Yeah, still, you maybe have a greater appreciation for what Coach Mack did. I already had a pretty strong one, but as you step over into someone else's shoes, it's amazing all the little nuances that he was able to navigate daily, and it probably has given me a greater respect for what he was able to accomplish. And I don't know that I've necessarily wrapped my head all the way around it, but I think we're moving in the right direction. We've got some pieces in place now. Now we've just got to attack it.
They were fun. I really enjoyed getting to know all these guys and meeting some of them. They came for a weekend, so I met them briefly, but spending more time with them has been great. Bunch of great dudes, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun this year. Back, I would say really close to full. We haven't done any 5-on-5 stuff as a group, so I haven't had to sit out anything. So I've been just watching load, make sure we're not doing anything too crazy, but pretty much back doing everything. I think a big one for me was just gratitude, just not taking things for granted. Basketball, I haven't had any really major injuries, so it was a tough year, just sitting back, not being able to play and help the guys. So I think gratitude, just knowing God's got a plan for me and for this whole group, and I'm excited to glorify Him through it. And and just taking little things. I think you see things different as a player watching, almost from like a coach's perspective. So just little nuances that you see that you might not playing when you're in the heat of the moment. Just taking things like that and just trying my best to help these guys.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Sean Callahan from Husker Online. Sean, how are we doing this morning?
Doing great, guys. Good weekend over at the stadium. Lot going on. I saw Damon. We had a good catch up on Thursday. He was swimming in it.
You kept me from beating up your partner, so that was good. I appreciate you kind of being the middleman. Sip and I get a little active in public.
Yeah, for some reason at age 58 or 59, Sipple still thinks he can fight. I'm like, I'm going to give Damon the edge there, Sip. He's got a little bit more Division I pedigree than you.
It's just, he's so funny. It's I love how he's
don't mealy mouth me.
He's very quick to admit that he knows nothing about that new phone and kind of that setup. So to see what you've taught him and how he uses that thing in public, outside of him talking super loud, he's got that newfangled phone down to a science.
Well, he was full blast speakerphone at all times. So like in airports, you name it, like restaurants, like he's the guy that you're like, man, look at that dude talking on a speakerphone. I'm like, Sip, let's solve. Even like when he would go on radio shows, we'd be in the car on like road trips on, Fridays before a Husker game. And he'd be doing the interview on speakerphone in the back seat. I'm like, we got to figure this out. Like Robin and I can't sit here for 30 minutes while you're on speakerphone on some interview. And I'm like, let's just get you a pair of headphones, $18 at Target. And it's like changed his life that he just, and it's not the AirPods, just the plug-in, the old school.
Oh man, gotta love Sip.
I'm like, why are you talking so loud? That's all. It's very awkward.
Oh man, Sean. So obviously, huge weekend for Nebraska, both in terms of visitors and commits. It seems like, and I know there's announcements for a couple key guys tomorrow and Wednesday, respectively, I believe, but it seems like maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, the commitments that actually happened while still on the visits were a little bit more active than originally anticipated.
Yeah, it's always hard to know how it's going to go with how guys want to announce. Do they want to go home? Do they want to coordinate it with Hayes Fawcett or somebody else? I mean, every kid, every family is a little bit different, but yeah, this was one of those weekends from Friday to Sunday. We had 5 announcements. And the key is this is your first June weekend. This is not your third June weekend. And you, when you look at recruiting guys, and Damon knows this, your opening weekend is kind of your prime weekend. You have your key guys that you've earmarked in first. And then weekend 2 has some of those guys maybe some backup guys. And weekend 3 can be about anything. But a lot of times the names that you see on the on-3 visitor list for weekend 3, many of those guys will never make it to Lincoln. So you have to close on that opening weekend. Nebraska closed with 5, and there's probably 2 more that could be popping here very soon. So this class will find itself to 17, I think, really, really quickly. And then you're talking about this upcoming weekend where, you might only see 4 visitors in town for this upcoming weekend, just depending on how the board shakes out after the next couple of days.
It's interesting, too, because, to your point about the order and how you try to get it sectioned off, the 19th originally was going to kind of be, it looked kind of juicy, right? It's like, oh gosh, 19th to the 21st looks like the biggest weekend, but with the reshuffling, it's still going to be a good weekend. Are you surprised that it has gone backwards in terms of the rescheduling of when guys actually made time?
Yeah, I think the 19th weekend with the Boneyard, Battle of the Boneyard, 7-on-7, I do think that has the potential still to be a great weekend. And probably what you're going to get is a lot of the now commits coming back to Lincoln again and just being a part of that. And I'm sure there's still going to be some key targets on campus. But if you have most of the hay in the barn by that 3rd weekend, which the dead period then begins on Monday, you can really utilize the Battle of the Boneyard to start recruiting your 2028s and 2029s, or at least having some more of these kids on campus to see that event or even play in that event, as we know that event last year was huge. And I think it's going to be as big or bigger this upcoming year as the popularity of that has picked up. And heck, the popularity of this team camp they're doing right now. If Bishop Gorman wants to keep coming back to Nebraska, and they're here through Wednesday or Tuesday, you're going to see more teams that maybe want to take part in Nebraska's multi-day full padded team camp as well, which has kind of turned into a nice under the radar recruiting event. I mean, I watched Millard South and Bishop Gorman play for 2 hours. And I know they'll scrimmage with Bishop Gorman for 5.5 to 6 hours over a 20-hour period. So that's an outstanding event that I think has a lot of potential as well to get more recruits on campus.
It's fascinating too, because Nebraska was able to piggyback off of the hospitality that Bishop Gorman showed with the relationships, right? We went to the bowl site early, got the tour from the guys with Gorman, the radio network, got in depth with the connection on why Nebraska and the hospitality. And it's just fascinating how, boom, already paying dividends. At least I get it. It's topical. It's the 30,000-foot view. But for Bishop Gorman to come back in here with the way that Nebraska's recruited that area, I think is just further kind of sowing more seeds that you hope kind of grow later on.
And look, there's 30 to 40 Division I guys on that roster.
Yeah.
And Millard South, as we know, is a very good program. And they had some moments against Bishop Gorman where they make plays. But when Bishop Gorman wanted to turn it on, or, when you got to the 2s and the 3s, that's where it really showed. I mean, their 2s and 3s were Division I guys. And when you're throwing out your standard Nebraska high school JV squad against that 2 or 3 group for Bishop Gorman, it was a completely different looking style of football with the level of athlete they field. I think the 2 offensive lines for Bishop Gorman yesterday averaged, the number 1 line and the number 2 line, all were an average of 270, 280 pounds average for each line. I mean, they were just gigantic Polynesian built lines, just full of talent. And it's hard to, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so it's hard to really get excited about a lot of things. I was probably as excited as I've been watching a camp setting, just seeing that level of football inside the old Cook Pavilion of all places. I don't think we've seen that level of football in that building since Damon was playing.
Sean, over the weekend, obviously went super defensive heavy with the commits, 4 of the 5 commits on the defensive side of the ball, which they did need some help there in terms of this specific class, which had leaned pretty offense heavy before that. It just, out of the guys that committed on the defensive side of the ball, was there anyone in particular that you kind of look at and you're just particularly excited about?
Well, getting Bryce Williams, corners are a premium, and you look at how the roster's built, you're going to need more corners for the future here. They're really top heavy as far as the upperclassmen go. But, this is back-to-back years now where they've gotten pretty big-time corners, and there's still more to come. So, and then the defensive line. I mean, they've kind of went almost 2 years without really getting a lot of high school defensive linemen. So to get Earl Demontagnick, and then obviously Mateo Mo, 2 guys up front, I think that's always big. You can never have enough bigs, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. You're seeing how big of a priority that is, especially with Pat Stewart kind of running things. That was the priority in the transfer portal on the offensive line. We've seen that play out with the offensive line in this recruiting class. And now we're starting to see some more defensive linemen come in, because it's really hard, as we know, on the transfer portal side to find defensive linemen. You want to find them in the high school ranks and develop them in your program, because the ones that you're going to want in the portal, they're going to cost you a lot of money.
When you're talking about, I want to go to Mo, because it's fascinating just being super familiar with how Minnesota likes to recruit, kind of what Danny Collins is looking for. They do find guys that can rush the passer, at least at this level. And Mo's, the suddenness of how this whole thing transpired is interesting. And I get it. I get the sense that once Mo says, hey, I'm going to take a look at Nebraska, I could see how maybe Collins and those guys would interpret that. But he talked about the one-to-one relationship with Coach Manning Roy Manning when he got there. How intriguing is he when you watch him as a prospect?
Well, I think now too, when you look at the new scheme on defense, he's a better fit. I mean, just being in this 4-man front, being kind of a true edge type player, they don't have a lot of those guys on the roster, especially in the younger grades. So they're going to continue to have to build that position group up at the younger levels. And the upside's there, the motor's there, the athletic ability's there. So yeah, to beat Minnesota for him, I thought that was a good recruiting victory for Nebraska. And they haven't had a lot of guys come out of Utah. I mean, it's not an easy place to recruit to. So this was a big win for Nebraska to get a premium edge player like Mo.
Sean, obviously one of the big stories from the weekend was the I'll call it surprise visit by Ahmad Hudson. What do you know about kind of how that ended up taking place and what changed for him ending up being in Nebraska this weekend?
Well, Nebraska has been relentless with Ahmad Hudson. Trey Taylor, as we know, has been very close to Ahmad over the last year plus. So they haven't given up. And I think the X factor is basketball. He spent time this weekend with Fred Hoiberg, was over at the Devaney Center on Saturday. And I thought that was a key piece to it. I don't know where that is with LSU. And look, we all know it's going to be extremely difficult to play Big Ten football and Big Ten basketball. I don't know how many guys, if any, have done it in recent years. There have been a couple way back in the day, like Wilson Thomas at Nebraska did it. Matt Davison did it for a couple of years with Danny Nee. But there have not been many that can play two Big Ten sports, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, football. But Ahmad Hudson is the type of athlete that could do it. And he's that important of a recruit. They're going to try to make it work because they know the type of difference maker he is. Now, that said, I don't know if we're going to see like a flip anytime soon if he were to flip. I think this is going to kind of quiet down, probably play out over the months ahead. And Nebraska is going to stay on him. But I don't know if we're just going to see, Ahmad Hudson's going to flip to Nebraska anytime soon if they were to get him. And I still think it's going to be extremely tough to get him out of Louisiana. But you have to credit Nebraska for the effort they've put in here to get him back on campus.
I agree. I agree with that completely. I think I use the example of like putting pre-emergent down, right? Where you're playing the long game with the lawn care. Are you surprised that people don't seem to understand I heard like money grab and adding to IG, just ridiculousness of skeptical folks, but there's really no monetary advantage for Ahmad Hudson to come hang out other than he's investing his time as well. Why don't you think we don't have a better grasp of that? Is it just simply that we don't know enough about the recruiting process or how OVs actually work?
Yeah, and look, he obviously upset LSU coming out here, I'm sure.
Yes, he did.
So
yes, he did.
If you're gonna, so there's that element to it as well. But yeah, it is more relationship driven than you think. I had a coach at Nebraska tell me this week, he's like, look, a lot of times it might be this school's going to give a kid $50,000 more. Are you really going to go to that school for $50,000 more over the better relationship and where you feel more comfortable? And that's what Nebraska's trying to go for. It's going to be a big number. We all know that. He's the number one tight end in the country. He's a 5-star. But the market at some point eventually sets itself. It really is what it is. And are you in that market? Or are you not? And clearly Nebraska is in the market to some extent because he wouldn't be back in Lincoln for this official visit.
Right.
They know what the number needs to be. And
they're like,
the relationship.
Money grab. I'm like, how?
You're like, what?
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I do think over the last year or two, things have somewhat self-corrected. I mean, look, the numbers are out of control. But I do think with the rev share number and with the CSC, things have kind of tamped down as much as they can tamp down or level out because it was obviously heading up. It's starting to maybe trend more in a realistic line where you can budget and plan what these guys are going to cost. But that said, you never have enough money, and we know that. I mean, to build the roster to compete against Oregon and Ohio State and teams of that caliber, it's going to cost a lot of money, and you need players like Ahmad Hudson.
Sean, this is kind of a weird question, but I remember, some like back in the day when all this was illegal, right? With paying guys and benefits and stuff like that. One of the ways people sort of like got around it was like benefits to family members, right? Like Reggie Bush was the big one where it's like, oh, dad gets this and mom gets this and whatever. And like, I don't know if you watched the SMU documentary on ESPN where it was like, yeah, like dad got a job and mom got a house and, auntie got a car. Like, is that a thing that you still see happening in the recruiting process in general? Because like, I've always been curious about like, you've got this number and you don't want to have to try and get the NIL deals past the CSC and what, like, is that a thing that we're seeing again?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. I mean, I've heard of people negotiating like a Delta Airlines gift card into their deal so then the family can use that to fly to all the games.
Hasn't Hudson's family just recently moved?
I don't know that.
I mean, I just ask.
There are a lot of people can pay that aren't the prospect. And there, I mean, there's no like subpoena power. The CSC is supposed to have that in there, but no one signed into like that agreement. But they're not like the FBI where they have the ability to audit and look at everyone's bank records. So yeah, I mean, that's always happened, and it will probably continue to happen where there's ways to benefit other people that are not the prospect. And that's just been recruiting, honestly, as you mentioned, all the way back to the 80s when the Southwest Conference was the king of that.
Sean, let me ask you something. How critical do you
we have a cricket?
We have crickets? Like
what's happening right now?
I don't. I feel like that's the one I couldn't find in my garage. Maybe he's somehow made his way into the studio. Idiots. Let me ask you, Sean, how do you feel about how critical the success on the field is this year is relative to what recruits are wanting to see? Sometimes I feel like it's overstated, but I'm not sure generally speaking.
Yeah, it's not as much about just the total win number as much as it is the feel. Because Nebraska could win 6 or 7 games, which is the same that they've done the last 2 years, but the feel could still be a lot better. Like last year, they won 7, but the feel at the end of the year after Iowa, Penn State, and Utah wasn't great. And even some of their wins with Raiola were a little shaky. I mean, they easily could have lost to Maryland. They easily could have lost to Michigan State. And you can go through the Cincinnati game, and they were able to pull those moments out in the season. So I think the feel is the most important thing. What does it look like? What does it feel like with Anthony Calandria? What does the new scheme and the potential long-term look like with Rob Orich? Are they getting after the quarterback? I mean, look, they had the leading sack man was 2.5 sacks last year. You're not going to get a lot of winning success in the Big Ten when you don't have pass rushers that can get to the quarterback. So there are so many developmental pieces to this on both offense and defense that will kind of give us the feel of where it's going. And the schedule, as we know, is tough. But I think we all agree Nebraska needs to win some of these tougher games, whether it's Illinois, whether it's Iowa, whether it's Washington, maybe knocking off an Indiana and Lincoln. I mean, there's got to be some moments, I feel, like that we just haven't seen or felt at Nebraska in a while.
Let me ask you specifics here, because Joey Hunter was interesting. He actually, if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I thought he would have been the next from Grayson to say yes. When I was like, oh, Hunter obviously not surprised me, but was a nice addition. When you're looking at the tight end room and what you think they're doing, how do you like how he fits currently in the landscape with that huge? I mean, he's 6'6", 250. I think he's every bit of the 6'6". I would guess probably 250. I'm sure he's listed heavier than that, but just looking at him up close, what do you see with how they could use Hunter?
Well, they really need guys there, Damon. I mean, you look at the numbers. Luke Lindemeyer's gone after this year. Carter Nelson is back. Ingwerson and Sorensen, and then you have 2 walk-ons, Eckernach and Danny King. but you don't have a lot there. So I think it's important that they get more Big Ten level tight ends, because you're going to play a lot of situations where you might have 3 on the field, ideally, for sure 2. And you need to develop that position and get it going, because the Carter Nelson injuries have kind of like slowed down what we thought he was going to give Nebraska. So really, we're looking at Luke Lindenmeyer right now, with Sorensen hopefully providing as a true freshman. But that's not enough long term. They need more, because Lindenmeyer will be gone, and they're going to need a couple guys there to supplement in there to give this tight end room the type of players it needs. And I think that's why you're seeing Nebraska ideally taking 2 tight ends this year.
Sean, is there, you mentioned tight end there and kind of the need for depth. Is there another group as you're looking at this 2027 class? We mentioned D-line earlier, where Nebraska needed to kind of beef up the high school recruiting a little bit there. Is there another spot where you're like, hey, would like to see them add a couple more guys here?
Well, they'd like to get a couple more offensive linemen. Look, they lose if the 5-for-5 goes into effect, they'll lose 3. Brendan Black will come back, but I do think there's maybe just some dead weight in the middle there that's just not going to compete for a 2 deep. So you'll probably see more attrition in some of these spots on the roster, or them continuing to bring in more talent to jump over some of these guys. But that's, and the defensive line. I mean, look, you can't have enough. They don't have a single edge on the roster right now that's a freshman or a redshirt freshman. So I think it's vital that they load that position up, because they just don't have any youth. The defensive line only has 3 redshirt freshmen and true freshmen: Dylan Berryman, Malcolm Simpson, Tyson Terry. So that's another one where they just need to continue to develop, because for whatever odd reason, the last 2 years, they just did not get edges or D linemen at a consistent level. And that might be the most important position to win, because to win in the Big Ten, you got to win up front. You got to stop the run. And we know that was a big problem for Nebraska, especially against teams like Iowa, Utah, and teams of that caliber, Penn State late in the season.
That's our guy, Sean Callahan, Husker Online. Sean, great stuff. We appreciate the time on a very busy weekend, and I have a feeling over the next couple weeks might catch up with you again.
Yeah, it sounds good. I told Damon I had to wait till Damon will know. I had to wait till the house cleared out. I go, what time? And anybody that's home, when it works from home, when your wife and kids are home for the summer, about 8 o'clock in the morning, it's chaotic.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Everyone's off at camp and swimming and everything right now, so it's a peaceful house right now over here.
And enjoy it. I will be full-time parenting from about 11 to 4:30 with just a 8-year-old. So can't wait. Woohoo! Go, yay me.
Sean, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
That is Sean Callahan from Husker Online. Good stuff there from Sean, as always. Let's take a quick break. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I'm excited because we do have a lot of continuity in terms of, and we have a lot, the leadership piece is probably the piece that I think you have to kind of wait. You have to push people to lead, but you also have to kind of see how it plays out, because we lost seniors. We will not have, we signed a transfer from Minnesota, Nia Holloway, who's a 5th year, but she's new to our team. And so I think that part will be kind of fun to see play out, but also just to see who in our sophomore class, our big sophomore class, has taken that jump as somebody who can be a little bit more vocal and hold each other more accountable. And then obviously just seeing where our 3 freshmen are. I think they're talented, and but yeah, we won't have that older group but I think our talent level, and just they always say, whether they're right or not, is the biggest jump you're going to make is from your freshman to your sophomore year. And we have a lot of kids who are making that jump.
The first week of workouts was pretty crazy, I can't lie. First day, went back to my room to sleep mad early, but you know, it's good work. It's gonna get us better for our goal. And I'm settling pretty good. I've been here a couple times the last year, so I'm pretty used to everything around here. So yeah. I feel like the relationships I made here for the past couple years, Coach Trey Ziegler, he started recruiting me, I think, my sophomore year, and then just kept the relationship, and it felt like home. The group, I love this group. We all work hard. We all talk. We all make each other better every day, hold each other accountable. I feel like that's what you need to, win a Big East tournament or even a national tournament.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Good stuff there from Sean and Sam, especially on the recruiting weekend, which I don't know how it's like a controversial topic in the chat about the recruiting weekend, but here we are. We're just out here, right?
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
I mean, it's a lot of water is wet kind of moments. It's like no bleep, right? But that's just how some people look.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Is
that what you call it?
No, it's not. I'm being sarcastic. I think it's really stupid.
Yeah. Knicks, 3 Knicks fans under one roof.
Yeah, it's weird.
What are the odds?
And I don't like it. I want to be honest.
My man is in here rocking.
None
what's
of them
his
are
name
from
again? Brock.
He's got I don't know which one he's wearing now, but he's got a Patrick Ewing jersey.
No, today it's Allen Houston.
Nice.
Oh,
Tennessee great. Allen Houston.
And if I have to see Allen Houston and John Starks and
Joel, high five John Starks down in Atlanta.
I have a question though. This is really stupid. And I don't even know if you're old enough to really care, but shouldn't they invite Oakley back into the fold?
They should.
They tried, but things are contentious. Still,
yeah. Have you? The answer is no. But do you know much about Oak?
Yeah.
Like, is Dolan just being a Richard Cranium or what?
I mean, they both are. They're both being hard-headed as hell. Because Dolan wants an apology, Oakley wants an apology. They should both just apologize to each other.
What does Dolan want an apology for?
For Oakley making a scene.
He made a scene because he was. Never.
They should let Trump be the mediator tonight and take care of it.
No. How about my man just getting up from the interview, though? I was like, come on, DT, man, just humor her. She flew all the way to come talk to you. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. She said, but you said you weren't going to war. He said it like 5 times. I was like, look, he's not going to entertain this. You're going to have to move on. Hard head makes for a soft bunda, Rico. That's what my dad used to say.
I'm just upset that they're not allowing the watch parties outside of MSG.
Dude, the police were like, not a snowball. Dude, tickets are going for $10K. I was at that dump on Christmas 2 years ago. That's up there. That's not worth $5.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Like, courtside seats are going for $45,000 for one seat.
Did I tell you how the guys got lost taking the subway back?
No.
To the hotel? Kids.
Is
just circling New York City.
We got to the end of the subway line.
Special.
Is MSG the Rosenblatt of NBA stadiums?
It's very dumpish.
But people have an affinity for it anyway.
It's the Mecca, right? Isn't that right, Suave?
It's the Mecca. It's the world's most famous arena. It's the Garden, baby.
It's like the 4th version of this. Why can't they build a new one? Like, this isn't the original Madison Square Garden. Just build another new one. Call it the same thing again. Who cares?
So they had like the whole nativity scenes and all this on the big screen in Times Square. Rico, is that where they would show the game? Because if that's the case,
there are zero ways in hell to show the game.
You could not. I'm talking like I had to put Zoe on my shoulders and it was freezing. Like nobody cared, but you're literally like this.
It would not be safe to show the game at Times Square.
So
I mean, it's not safe to show the game anywhere, but
they're doing Bryant Park. I don't know where that is, but I read that.
There are 3 different watch parties not around MSG. One of them has a cap of 5,000 people that can go watch it. But they have to go 3 different locations. And there have been multiple people who just get like tarps and put them over their vans and just like stream the game on their laptop and have a projector.
Street?
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of people just sitting on the sidewalk watching it.
I just was there. It's such a dirty city.
Yeah, but crime is down.
Oh,
like a ton. Jalen Brunson is Batman.
The light night. Lights. Ain't the dark night. Can I ask?
Obviously, Cat is Robin.
I get the
he is.
I get the Jalen the Jalen Brunson handies, but
like high fives.
No, like handies. His dad's a little much, right? Like, can we move on past the Rick coming off the bench and talking to players and like that bit is old.
I thought look, De'Aaron Fox, just don't get in my captain's face like that. They ain't having it.
He's not whipping anybody though.
Rick?
Who? Rick or Jalen?
I don't know if Jalen's about that life either, but Fox would touch old man Rick up. Like, just go sit down. Like, it's not about you. He's constantly getting off the bench to chirp at somebody. Like, your son is old enough now where it's cool, man. Just let it ride.
I thought there was a chance in the offseason, and I was giving Rico a really hard time about this.
That they were going to hire him?
That Rick Brunson was going to be his head coach.
I was cheering for that.
Absolutely not.
It would have been hilarious. And then I made fun of him for hiring Mike Brown, but it's worked out so far.
Am I the only one that's ever used that term, Daniel? I don't. No, I've used that on here before.
I think it was just unexpected.
It's just old, man. It's like
Rick's always doing too much. Always. That's who he is. Like, he's just doing too much.
I don't get it.
Why is that dude on staff? Like, there's not.
I'm sure he's a big X's and O's guy.
You're telling me there's not an assistant that could bring more to the table than Jalen's dad?
Like, Jalen's dad also brings Jalen. So
anyway,
I'm just saying they couldn't have found like some front office role for him or something where he doesn't sit on the bench. Like, what are we doing here? Like, go put him in an office somewhere.
You
only get so many guys on the bench. Like, you might want to use somebody for some basketball stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like it's working.
I'm contemplating taking back the grace period for Rico's fandom.
Why is that?
Because I think it's. I don't think we can control it. It's like, oh, it's Rico. It's just gonna be fun. It's fine, but it's being compounded by every other Knick fan in the world.
Yeah,
like. You would have just been fine. It's everywhere.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fake Knick fans. Ridiculous.
Oh, wow. You're gatekeeping now? You're gatekeeping Knick fans now?
It's ridiculous. I'm not gatekeeping Knick fans.
Okay,
72 and the Lakers dusted them off. Like,
no,
you've never been up 2-0 in a series in the finals, but come on, man.
No, I'm not gatekeeping Knick fandom. What I'm gatekeeping is the streamers that are now Knick fans after they were Lakers fans, and now they're in the streets and starting the stupid.
There's no such thing as a Laker and a Knick fan.
They're not. They were Lakers fans because it was cool because it's LeBron James, and now they're all Knicks fans because now it's cool to be a Knicks fan. So they're out in the streets and they're screaming "fuck Trae Young," and it's like, hey, we're done with that. Leave it alone.
It had been a week.
Bro, try not to swear. Jeez, kids listen to this.
Welcome back.
Only Wyatt's kids in the car. Rico, you really can't.
You should have seen them around the chickens.
Yeah.
Oh, we were in the backyard.
Were they like chasing them like Rocky?
Dude, this dude has.
You're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
He has a remote control door for the chicken for the hen house or the chicken coop.
Yeah.
So it raises and lowers on its own.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn free for all back there. I said, so who's the boss? Oh, I think it's the gold one. Somebody just had chicks too. It's like, yeah.
You got like a hierarchy in the chicken coop.
Yeah, I think I have about 4 of those eggs left.
Yeah.
And I bought
a lot of eggs.
Mike had like 6 yesterday.
Go through a lot of eggs. I will say when I was powerlifting, I went through a lot of eggs.
It's the only real side that I like.
It's just easy to. It's just easy, you know.
Yeah.
I'd get some of those like turkey sausage links that you can just microwave real quick, and I'd grab some eggs and
microwave links.
Yeah, the ones that are pre-cooked. Listen, it's not like great, but when you're on the way to work, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh God. Why do you enjoy microwaving meat?
It's not that I enjoy it; it's a convenience issue. Like when I had the time and I was
set aside 10 extra minutes. It's it.
Well, no, because then I gotta eat it too. It's not just 10 extra minutes; it's the whole thing.
Okay.
Listen, some of us used to work like office 9 to 5 jobs. It was a little, a little dicey trying to get there on time.
I get it.
There was one I would make the eggs in the microwave at work.
Dude, Verge used to eat his eggs cold. I was like, no, that's.
I didn't do that, but
hardcore.
I would microwave them. It wasn't that bad if you microwave the eggs. You get a little milk in there, keeps them from getting too dry. It's not bad.
Gonna pass.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying
BDR. I'm like the king of food choices, man. Come on, give your boy some love. But you can't be microwaving meat. Just
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
That's what I used to tell you when I said I'd eat it cold, and you told me I was gonna get botulism and die the next day.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. It's an active choice. You just not refrigerating stuff. That's just a you problem.
Rico, I ate at a very overrated Lincoln restaurant Friday night too.
Did you?
Yes.
Ooh, overrated Lincoln restaurants.
Oh yeah.
What food did they serve?
I know.
They
Will it give it away?
Far East.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
But when I pulled up,
oh, okay, that's the one I was thinking. Because you don't like that one either, do you?
Extremely overrated.
Yeah,
now that place used to be good there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was very sus.
Yeah.
Yes. Omaha way greater when it comes to Indian. But this particular place, Rico, which was not Indian.
Omaha Indians.
I watched a group of 6 men catch a nice one. They went from Tsingtao's, about 20 of them, to Haiku, and I mean were foolish. And there wasn't one of them that I would guess was under 60.
Wow.
I was like, life must be good.
You said a bunch of like Wyatts in 20 years just hanging out.
Grown ass men catching
awesome.
a nice one sitting around the table.
Can I just say, I don't want to overgeneralize here. Old Asian dudes are awesome.
Dude.
Have you ever been around very many of them?
I'm not going to kid you, though. If I was going to get into the beer game, Tsingtao, they're elite.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Dude,
elite.
Only thing I know about Tsingtao, never had one. The Chinese restaurant that we used to go to every week as a family, they had a like Chinese dragon that was like a Tsingtao promotional. And I was like, hey, when you guys are done with this, can I have it? And they never gave it to me. I'm pretty bummed about it. But it was a sweet dragon.
Yeah, I researched this place for like 3 weeks because I wanted to stay in Omaha, but Zoe wanted to eat with Caleb. So, of course, we couldn't get him to come to us. So,
yeah, why would you?
I mean, why? So we researched, highly rated, even people from the country like the food and the reviews. And I
feel like I don't know what you're talking about now.
Listen, man, if you drove past, you don't even know it's there. When I pulled up, I was like, I'm done. But sometimes it's like, oh, this is where they have the good ones. No, it's not good.
Panda Express?
No, but everybody's doing reviews on that. Is it the Korean brisket? There's no way he's eligible. Stop. Okay, we need a breaking news sounder.
God damn it.
We need a breaking news sounder. We don't have one, but dun, 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 dun. Is this real?
Yeah, this is from a verified On3 account. Texas Tech QB Brendan Sorsby has been granted a preliminary injunction against the NCAA and is eligible for the 2026 season.
It's for right now, right?
Yeah, that means they haven't had a trial yet, but
Yeah.
pending a actual trial or whatever, however that process plays out, that he is eligible until they
Pete
resolve.
Damel just tweeted it out.
Incredible.
What a joke.
Nope, it wasn't Indian Lee, but I did get chicken wings.
What a joke.
It's part of the appetizer.
This is, what are we doing?
They're calamari. I knew once I had the calamari, I knew we were in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I love how you're both having two different conversations right now.
Well, because I can multitask.
I'm just moving. I'm upset about this.
But didn't you assume this was going to happen? They will rule before a game happens. It will be.
Sorsby would have bet that place was really good.
Wow.
You think he had a future on his preliminary injunction? You think he was on like Kalshi?
Dude's cashing in, right?
He's like, wait, if I can't bet on the team, can I bet on myself specifically?
He took betting on yourself way too literally.
You know that TK had a Kalshi bet about this.
TK's pissed. He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh no, he definitely would have. He would have gone for the preliminary injunction.
So, hey, Hot, was it you that started that, or was it Daniel with the green bottle thing? Remember the whole green bottle discussion as a general rule of thumb?
Oh yeah, no, that's a real thing though, because it doesn't keep the sunlight out of the beer, so it gets skunky faster. That's why most beer is in dark bottles.
I think it was pretty fantastic, and I don't even get down like that. Maybe it's just because
if it's stored properly, it's fine. But like if it's not, you get a
they
chance.
Pull them right out of the fridge and had the little sweat on it. Go with the sushi or whatever I was eating. Yeah, Rico, I will have to talk about that place. I question the city's judgment in terms of taste. And it's not like Lincoln's like the mecca of good food, but
I will say I think for being as close to Omaha as it is, and Omaha is a really good food market, Lincoln's is a little rough. Like it's a little tough out there. There's a few places that I like, but it's tough, man. Like there's not a ton.
And the concept is kind of hard to screw up.
You would think.
But it's like
Lincoln's a pretty solid breakfast town.
So that's what people say. That's not new. I would agree with that. I can't really attest.
Good breakfast in Lincoln. I can't really speak to much else.
In Lincoln enough to have breakfast, like in Lincoln early enough to have breakfast often. So I can't really speak to it. I don't know that I've ever had.
That's the equivalent.
Oh yeah, that's a popular concept.
It was #fail.
That's tough out there.
I can't. So the injunction doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, the judge is literally a tech booster.
No, he recused himself.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He recused himself.
That's good because that would have been awkward.
He is
having the photos of social media with the guns up with the mascot was a tough look.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but it won't get to the Badiaco deal where he'll play a couple of games. They will go. The case will be heard.
So we got about 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10. I think we're right at 90 days, somewhere in that neighborhood till college football. So no, Carol, he's not 100% eligible now. If there was a game today, he would be able to play, but there is still. So basically he can continue to be around the team and like practice and things like that. But
I just, as TK would say, those damn lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, this is
tough look.
This is also why the antitrust litigation is really important.
It's critical
because you can say things like the NFL would never have this problem. You can't sue the NFL to say, hey, you're infringing on my right to make a living. It's like, nope, we have antitrust exemption. We can do whatever you want. You're opting to play in this league. That's another reason why this is so important. This dude bet on Indiana 40 times.
I know.
That's multiple times per game while he was at Indiana.
Yep.
We're talking about, I think it was almost 1,400 bets over 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, what are we talking about? what are we talking about? Like, if this had happened, there's a lot of things that concern me now.
Oh, here we go.
Because I'm trying to pull the string and unravel this to the worst possible outcome. And the one I just came up with is referees. That's the one I'm worried about now, because the only reason Donaghy was able to be blackballed from the league is because they're part of the union, part of the NBA situation.
Correct.
College referees.
That would be the worst case.
Yeah,
scenario.
that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, hey, what's the worst this could go? Referees, because they're independent contractors, and if the NCAA bans them, they have the same argument that Brendan Sorsby does now. You're infringing on my ability to make a living. I did this in a state where it was legal. How can you say I can't do this? Right? Now, I was hoping that we might use, I was hoping they might use another vice as like alcohol as an example, because you can be an alcoholic and get treated as someone who has a addiction or disorder or whatever. You still can't come to work drunk, right? You can still be fired for that, right? So I was hoping that would be kind of the example they'd use here, and maybe when it goes to trial, they will. But the worst case scenario here is if they don't get this cleared up and make sure that Brendan Sorsby never plays college football again, then referees can now bet on games. That's what we're basically talking about here now. Am I going too far? Or am I?
No. But again, I don't think you should be shocked by the injunction, though.
Just disappointed, not shocked. Just disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I just thinking at some point, it's like, hey, we're just not going to do the stupidest possible thing here. Like, maybe that would be a great idea. Just not do the stupidest possible thing possible.
Well, technically, he wasn't fired, but when you go to prison, Captain, it's hard to come back and get your job.
That's accurate.
I mean, he did do what was it, a 15-month sentence or something like that? I don't even remember.
Good old Tim?
What was that? That was like 07? 06?
It was a while ago. It might have been a couple years later in 06. I think
it was 07 maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking like 07, 08, somewhere in there.
What do we got? Did you pull it up?
07 is when he was caught, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how long he spent in prison.
I think the sentence was only like 15 months.
He served 11.
Was the original sentence 15 months?
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty good memory on
that is not bad.
Thank you.
He did the remainder in a halfway house. So he did the extra 4 months in a halfway house.
Wouldn't that be something? Not that I would wish that on anybody, but
that'd be like, he seems like he may not fit in. Like, I don't know, like if they have different halfway houses for different.
I think it was Sacramento, Carol, but that was like
offenders.
99.
Which one?
He's talking about the game where the Lakers played. Wasn't it Sacramento?
It was Sacramento, but it was like 02, I think. That's the Robert Horry game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's 02.
Yeah, I lived on 93rd and Western.
Okay.
I was watching that game in a palatial living room, but I was like, how did I even get my stuff on the third floor?
I've had a couple of those.
Yeah, because I was looking to launch a TV that was supposed to be really, really nice, but turned out to be super heavy.
Yeah, I think they all were back then.
And I was looking, when I thought the Lakers were in trouble, I was thinking about how to remove it. And I looked down over the balcony and I was like, fudge. How'd I even get this thing up here?
Carol, it was Western Conference Finals.
Let alone get it off.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird what I remember that vividly.
I remember that game because it's the tap out, the Robert Horry. Like, I remember it very specifically.
Trying to tiptoe around, running around in excitement.
Are you kidding me?
This is my cool kid voice.
Yeah, I
hate Sacramento.
Really?
Yeah.
Just from that era.
I always hated Chris Webber.
Temperament?
Never liked the Michigan. It just made it. He was an easy guy to root against, especially after.
Did you like anybody from those Michigan teams?
Yeah, I actually did. I was a huge Jimmy King guy.
Okay.
I love Jimmy King.
You don't strike me as a Jalen Rose guy.
I like Jalen Rose
as a player,
as an analyst.
Oh, okay.
But I never loved him as a player. I did feel like Jalen Rose was, or I felt like he is way better than we give him credit for, though.
In the league?
He was pretty multifaceted.
Yeah, he was. He had a very interesting skill set. He really didn't kind of blossom until a few years into that Indiana run.
Yeah. I like Jalen. His game didn't really fit my eye, but he's kind of a set shooter. And
yeah, I don't know that he would like his game aesthetically didn't age super well. But
I like his story too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna kill my vibe today. I was very happy that somebody, and I'm petty like this for teams that I cheer for, but I was very excited on the heels of how the Padres are playing that somebody is going to get fired. And this Rico and the Knicks thing kind of.
Jalen went most improved player of the year his 6th year in the league.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty deep in it to like have a.
Can I still find joy in the Padres?
If you want to, yeah. It's no big deal.
They're pretty bad.
No big deal.
I have no idea what they're doing, but Manny Machado, like.
Oh, I hate Manny Machado. You know this.
Yeah, I think he's hitting like $169, maybe.
That's too high.
Remember when Manny Machado was like the future face of baseball?
Yeah.
$300 million.
I remember when I was tickled that LA didn't bring him back when they rented him. This is after people tripping and him stepping on people's feet at first base. And I'm like, that guy's going to get somebody hurt.
Well, he ended Dustin Pedroia's career, so not going to get somebody hurt. He literally ended his career, so it's a real thing that happened.
I forgot about Pedroia. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
I don't like Machado. But that is absolutely correct.
We hate Manny Machado forever.
Yeah. He's not very good right now.
Can fire him into the sun. I hope he hits lower than 169.
That's got about right.
No, that's exactly right. $169.
Yeah.
Guess
how low does your batting average have to go before they just stop putting you out there?
Well, when you're making like $300 million, pretty low.
Like
that's the contract, right? He's at $300 million.
Yeah.
Because him and Harper signed basically the same deal. Like Harper's just a little bit more.
And somehow I think he's leading them in RBIs.
Yeah, he does have 11 homers, so like he probably.
I think he has like 30 RBI, maybe
32. His OPS is under 600, which is funny.
So it's either an out or a homer.
Pretty much, although
I think he's still walking a little.
His OPS, no, it's abysmal. I think it's like 569.
No, his OPS is, but his on base percentage is still almost 100 points higher than his batting average, so he's still walking. It's still terrible. Like 250 is still awful, but there's still a gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm hoping Tank City. I don't cheer for Tatis. I don't cheer for.
I hope he never plays baseball again. I'm fine with that.
I think Tatis is hitting like 270.
You just put Machado on the bench and leave him there forever. I'm fine with that.
Tank, baby. Just like I hit the skids.
What's Fernando hitting?
Tatis? I'm going to guess 271.
Way off.
What is it?
273.
Oh. Funny dude.
His OPS is trash, though. He's wow.
OPS.
Guess what he's slugging?
No, I'm going to guess his OPS.
Okay.
OPS of 340.
OPS?
Yeah.
On base percentage.
Oh.
You mean on base percentage?
Yeah, I'll go. What's his on base percentage?
342.
Okay. OPS, I'll go 680.
670. His slugging percentage is lower than his on base percentage. That's brutal.
I could be pretty good at this game, though.
Mysteriously, after the PED suspension, he's got one.
I knew you were going to say
He's got one home run and 238 at bats.
Did I spit
one home run?
15 minutes talking to Nick about you and that the other day.
Really?
I don't even know how it came up. Something about the guinea pig thing, like the lab rat philosophy.
Yeah.
And it's like we got the errors that you like and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that tracks.
The errors that I like.
Eras.
Oh, eras of baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love steroid era baseball.
What's your favorite error of all time?
Error.
He's big Bill Buckner guy.
How dare you?
Sorry.
You already brought up Petey. Now he goes Buckner. Actually, the Buckner thing doesn't, like, I wasn't alive for Buckner, so like I didn't experience that in real time.
It shouldn't bother you.
So it really doesn't. Like there's a lot of Red Sox fans that hate the Mets because of
Dom,
86.
would you take Tatis?
And I don't have that vitriol for the Mets just because like I wasn't alive. I didn't experience it.
Yeah.
David says the big dumpa is missing the needle. I'm just saying. I think it's way more common still than you guys give it credit for.
Well, there are so many workarounds.
Yeah, there's always workarounds. Like you could do, the stuff's always ahead of the testing. We'll just say that. Always.
So did you see any, you might have been gone. So did you see any of the Big Ten baseball tournament live?
No.
Did you see the picture of, that Nick took at Muchachos with Ole Miss?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Between Ole Miss baseball and Oregon baseball, and dudes are pretty peptided.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Nick's picture was photoshopped.
No.
Dude, have you seen it?
Yeah. The Muchachos guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he's a little guy.
No, but they're huge.
But they're twice his size.
Yeah, they're enormous. It's stupid.
I was like, is that a bad angle?
There is, he got out angled hard. No, there is. I don't even.
Dom, you take Tatis?
I'll be honest, man. I don't even know how they would test for some of the stuff that's out there, though, because a lot of it's
water soluble.
Well, and a lot of it's like the shelf lives are so short. Like if you're willing to inject every day, you can do just about whatever you want. And as long as they don't test you like 6 hours after the injection, they're not catching it. They just aren't. Like there's like
he's unusually giddy. Am I the only one picking up on this?
I find the science of human performance fascinating. I always have.
I know.
Like it's
you want to do an experiment?
This has been a thing. I did plenty.
College must have been wild.
I'm a 5'9" Indian guy, and I benched 405. You think that was like genetics?
Hey, Andy.
Have you seen my dad? Like, have you seen every Indian guy ever? Like,
dude, some of those weightlifting pictures, you look like Bane.
Dude, so speaking of Photoshop,
I remember massive roided out Ravi.
I was never on like Roy.
I agree.
The air quotes.
Kobe, 5'9". Of all the things Kobe heard,
like
he's like, yeah, not buying that one.
Tested by a doctor, no shoes, 5'9". 5'9" is shorter than people think. Like 5'9's not big.
He is awful.
No, Ryan over our YouTube guy, he brought me in. He's like, hey, I think somebody's using a photoshopped photo of you. And I was like, oh, really? Because like, how some people like in the chat or whatever just grab photos. And he showed me which one it is. I was like, oh, Ryan, no, that one's real.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's the one I showed my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It was I was never on steroids. I like
Nixon.
I, like many players in professional sports, found some convenient workarounds.
I am not a crook.
Oh,
I remember back in the day, Rob.
Back in the
we worked
day.
together.
You knew me at like peak.
You were huge.
Yeah, like you knew me at probably my biggest.
I remember teasing you because I was like, "Can you scratch your back?"
No.
And he's like,
come into the studio with like these ridiculous fast food things. I'm like, who's eating 40 nuggets?
80 grams of protein.
Man,
80 grams of protein.
I swear to you, he would bring like a grocery bag filled with like cut up apples.
Oh yeah,
cut up apples and like deli meats and
just loose deli meat.
The worst
handfuls.
Yeah, I would bring like the bags of turkey pepperonis and just like the entire show. The worst one though, you could ask Bishop about this. So I used to when I was like in a pinch and I needed protein, I would take the Hormel cans of chili with like the pop tops And if you get the turkey chili, no beans, it's like 36 or 38 grams of protein, like very low fat and pretty easy to eat. And I found out kind of on accident that I don't like, it's not good, but I don't hate it cold. Like it's edible cold.
And he was the road warrior before the road warrior.
And Bishop is like, I like pop one open during a break because I was doing every once in a while, you know, I do like 8 hours. I do like 2 straight shows over there.
Yeah.
And so I bring the whole lunch bag and I was like, listen, I can't go 8 hours without protein because otherwise the thing that I'm not like, I'm even a professional at, like I'll lose my gains or something stupid. I don't know. I didn't have a lot going on. But I pop open this thing and he's like, he legitimately thought it was dog food. He thought I was eating dog food out of a can. He's like, is that Alpo? I was like, no, man, it's Hormel chili. I thought he was going to vomit on the air. Never, ever.
Have you checked the protein and all the macros on dog food? Is that?
So that's a thing. Like there's like some of those weird influencers online that like, it's usually cat food because cat food is super high in protein. Because their kidneys process it better than dogs do. But there's like some people that are straight up eating cat food. And I was like, that's too far, homie.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be out on the cat food.
I agree. I agree.
I did see
Corn Raider, I agree. SpaghettiOs aren't bad cold either, but they didn't have enough protein.
I follow a guy on TikTok that does like fast food, like macros.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I had it all down. I knew what to get.
And like the a small mashed potato and the blackened tenders at Popeyes.
Yeah.
It's like 320 calories and like 46 or 48 grams of protein.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's incredible.
Oh, it's great macros for fast food. Incredible.
Like that would be hard pressed to beat that.
Yeah, even like home cooked, it's hard pressed to beat. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing this wrong.
But that's why
I've never had the blackened tenders though.
They're not bad. That's why I started to do the chicken nuggets though, because I thought John was like traumatized by the chili.
Chicken sandwich.
So I was like, I can just go pick up
just don't see dudes just roll like you'd have the soda.
Yep, but no fries, nothing.
Just 40 nuggets. And I was like,
and I usually wouldn't dunk them either because there's too much carbs in the sauce. So I would, and there was enough carbs with the nuggets and the breading already that I was like,
a cartoon character.
Yeah, it was a different time. No, I didn't, Corey. I didn't use needles for any of my non-diabetic substances.
KJ. I don't know if I eat any. What do I eat out of a can?
You know what the worst? I used to do a lot of.
Oh, I do eat sardines, and I eat.
You like black beans or anything?
I eat Kipper snacks.
Okay.
Vienna sausages.
I do not eat that.
No.
I do like Spam though.
I used to eat those straight out the can.
Vienna sauce? No.
I would do. So it's gross, and I can't do it now. But I used to do a lot of canned chicken, like on the go. Canned chicken is rough.
I can't stand it. I told you I tried to make the pizza crust out of canned chicken, and I couldn't get rid of the smell, no matter how I seasoned it.
No.
So then I just started shredding.
I used to take canned chicken,
Spam, baby.
One of those big cans of kind.
I was at a place. I stopped by a place Friday that has Spam and grilled cheese on the menu.
Yeah. One of those big cans of canned chicken at Costco is like 76 grams of protein. Mix that up with some stuff.
Dude, their tuna, that macro that comes in the yellow.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But you don't do
I don't like tuna that much. I don't do canned tuna. I can do tuna on sushi. I can't do canned tuna.
That's a Jimmy Neutron thing. Big tuna guy.
I didn't get enough of my mom's side from that to do the canned tuna.
Andy.
Let's take a quick break. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Aaron Sorensen, a little college baseball. A lot going on. Got 6 of the 8 teams scheduled for the CWS. We'll get the last 2 today. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I'm excited because we do have a lot of continuity in terms of, and we have a lot, the leadership piece is probably the piece that I think you have to kind of wait. You have to push people to lead, but you also have to kind of see how it plays out, because we lost seniors. We will not have, we signed a transfer from Minnesota, Nia Holloway, who's a fifth year, but she's new to our team. And so I think that part will be kind of fun to see play out, but also just to see who in our sophomore class, our big sophomore class, has taken that jump as somebody who can be a little bit more vocal and hold each other more accountable. And then obviously just seeing where our three freshmen are. I think they're talented, and but yeah, we won't have that older group but I think our talent level and just they always say, whether they're right or not, is the biggest jump you're going to make is from your freshman to your sophomore year. And we have a lot of kids who are making that jump.
The first week of workouts was pretty crazy, I can't lie. First day, went back to my room with to sleep mad early, but it's good work. It's gonna get us better for our goal. And I'm settling pretty good. I've been here a couple times the last year, so I'm pretty used to everything around here. So yeah. I feel like the relationships I made here for the past couple years, Coach Trey Ziegler, he started recruiting me, I think, my sophomore year, and then just kept the relationship, and it felt like home. The group, I love this group. We all work hard. We all talk. We all make each other better every day. Hold each other accountable. I feel like that's what you need to, win a Big East tournament or even a national tournament.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We'll be joined by Eric Sorensen in just a minute, talk a little college baseball. But in the meantime, speaking of college baseball, you can beat the heat and the crowds by catching all the college baseball tournament games at Nebraska Ale House over at Warhorse Sportsbook. Enjoy great food, tons of local beers, and a place to place your sports bets just a few steps away at the Warhorse Sportsbook. Go check out Nebraska Ale House, and then Rico and I will be there on Thursday for a little special show to kick off the college baseball tournament here in Omaha. That'll be at 2 p.m. at the Nebraska Ale House on Thursday if you want to come out and say hi to Rico and myself.
No. So
you don't want to say hi to me and Rico?
No, I'm pretty bummed that they didn't want to work around because I won't be here. I wanted to be there. Do they know that he's a different black guy?
I do.
I'm kind of bummed.
Do I have to pretend like I know more football than I actually know?
No,
you have to pretend. You have to pretend to be DB.
I pretend like I know too. It don't work for me.
You have to pretend to be DB. You have to wear the.
I'm not wearing West Side gear.
Yeah, wear the West Side gear.
No.
Listen, I was this close.
You got to wear long sleeves and shorts.
I put it on and I took it off. I was this close to wearing a Carolina zip up today.
Were you?
Yeah. It's pretty. It's Carolina. If it would have been a little less wrinkled, because you hang it up, right? And like it kind of gathered. And I was like, I don't want to go steam for I could have.
You should have worn the
14-minute cycle. The dark blue one.
Yeah. My buddy got you.
I know, but I didn't want to wear. So the light blue one is long sleeve naturally.
Yeah.
The quarter zip is one in which
it's got the shorts.
I would wear sleeves, and so my sleeve choices
didn't match the color.
No,
I got you.
Whoever guessed.
That's it.
We are joined now by Eric Sorensen, covering college baseball from D1 Baseball. Eric, how are we doing this morning?
Good, guys. Good. I hope you can hear me. Am I coming through?
Yeah, we got
crystal clear, man. Sound great.
Oh, beauty.
Are you?
Okay.
How excited are you to sit through some suspensions? Excuse me, suspended games.
Yeah, we got to get those games in. But yes, this has been a pretty good super regional round so far. A lot of storylines, a lot of excitement. As long as Mother Nature will just keep, give us a break here, we'll get through for all 8 teams to Omaha.
Rob Anderson is fantastic as the sports information director at Creighton. But one of the things that I really love is this time of year with his College World Series stats. And I've long maintained that this is the toughest championship to win. But the fact that there's only one repeat team, regardless of the outcomes today, in the last 3 years, it's been 23 different teams to get to Omaha. That is a fascinating stat.
Yeah, and big shout out to Rob. He's a great dude, and I love getting his updates on Creighton basketball throughout the year. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that it's been this year's going to be all new teams, no repeats from last year. Which is pretty rare. You don't quite get that very often. But yeah, we've been on a little bit of a run here with new teams reaching Omaha, and I like that part of it. I think the teams are still too much based in the Southeast, but I'd still like to see it'll be a little bit broader group of teams. But it kind of makes it for an interesting College World Series this year.
Eric, as you kind of look at the teams that are in here and what we were just talking about with the variety, do you think that's how? I know there's not a commissioner or anything in college baseball, but do you think that's how the powers that be in college baseball want it to be with that much variety?
Well, I'll say this: I'd like to put my name in the hat for commissioner of college baseball. I'd straighten some things out for sure. Yeah.
Where would you start? Where would you start?
Yeah, I'll start right now. So, I think this is kind of what they would have in mind. To me, like I said, I mean, as a kid growing up in Omaha, I literally remember teams from Maine to Hawaii to Miami of Florida making it to the College World Series. And that's the part I really loved about the College World Series, is just all these teams from all these different corners of the country and beyond. So I still think it's a little too. I still think it's a little too generalized to the South and the Southeast. I'd still like to see it broadened out a little bit more. We got West Virginia this year, which is an interesting story and a great team who I've seen a couple of times this year. So I look forward to seeing how they fare in Omaha. But yeah, there's still some spice. There's still a little bit of spice, little dashes from different teams coming in this year, and I think that's the way the NCAA would like to have it.
I get West Virginia really good at the top 1-2, elite arm talent at, let's say, Ole Miss, Texas. But when I think pitching, and I'm a little biased because I'm a Carolina fan, I love Carolina staff, right? When I'm just thinking pitching. But when you look at this field, and I get Georgia's maybe the most complete team, could you see enough pitching to neutralize all the offense that we've seen here in the postseason?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's the name of the stadium now? Charles Schwab Field, whatever corporate name field it is now. It plays differently than any of these play. Like, Georgia's going to come in here and they're not going to have that 310-foot right field foul pole this year, in Omaha. So it's going to play a lot differently. And the way the stadium is situated, the winds most times come from the south and blow things, toward home plate. So it's going to play differently for certainly for Georgia and for all the teams, really. I mean, it's going to be a much different kind of story. So, yeah, you're going to have to pitch your way through to Omaha. We got some good pitching staffs here that so far of the teams that have qualified. But with Georgia, I look at them and I kind of think, okay, they left their pitching somewhere along the way because they gave up so many runs to Mississippi State in the last 2 games. So I'm interested to see how they do once they hit Charles Schwab Field this coming week.
My partner is an FSU fan, so I hate the J.D. Drew reference, but I need a frame of reference for what Daniel Jackson is doing. If he swipes enough bags in Omaha, he can join the 30-30 club, which obviously there's only one of those, and his name is J.D. Drew. How good of a player is Daniel Jackson?
Yeah, Omaha's going to love this guy. I mean, to keep in mind that he's a catcher. He's a catcher. That doesn't happen very often that a catcher can go out there and steal 30 bases during the season. But yeah, man, what a season he's had. He's Triple Crown winner in the SEC. I'd already give him my Golden Spikes Award vote for sure for Player of the Year in college baseball. So he's a dynamo. He does everything. He's a Wofford transfer, came from a mid-major to Georgia. I think most of Georgia's team is transfers this year. They're kind of an anomaly. But yeah, he's as good as it gets. He's going to be a good pro here in just a few years. And boy, if he keeps lighting it up like he did in Athens this past 2 weeks, yeah, Omaha's going to get quite a treat from this guy.
Who's the best team that we're not going to see in Omaha? Like when you came into the tournament, what's the one that surprised you the most?
Yeah, that's a popular question, and I live in Los Angeles, so I saw UCLA play all season back when they were dominating back in the first 3 months of the year, and then they just kind of started leaking oil a little bit in the last month. So I just thought they were the most complete team, deepest staff. They've got a bunch of future pros in their lineup. So that would be my vote. Of course, a lot of people will also say Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech has 1 through 9 the most dangerous offense in the country and pitched pretty good. They led the ACC in pitching in conference only games. So they were a complete team too. So if I have to do a 2-headed monster to that answer to that question, I'm sorry, I would say UCLA and Georgia Tech, but I'd lean towards UCLA just because I'm a little bit biased because I saw a lot of them this year.
Could be an electric if the schedule shakes out how some think, and it's actually Texas and Georgia on that Saturday night. The styles and the bravado is already with it's already the vitriol for Texas. Texas's style of play, right? If you thought Nomar Garciaparra and Juan Soto were annoying, I think everybody is a combination of that when they're in the batter's box. Like, how electric do you think that's going to get?
Yeah, that's going to be fun, Damon. I look forward to that one. That's going to be 2 marquee teams. I still think of them as Southwest Conference champions, University of Texas against the SEC champions of Georgia. But yeah, that's going to be really great. And the thing about Texas this year is with Jim Schlossnagle taking over here the last year or two, he's kind of built up. It's kind of a different kind of Texas team. They've got some offense this year too. I mean, they've really hit well, and they hit a lot of home runs too. They've got over 100 home runs themselves. So it's not just going to be Georgia that's going to have the power in that matchup and in Omaha in general. So it's going to be really interesting. And I think, as I kind of mentioned a minute ago, I look forward to seeing how Georgia's going to pitch because they haven't, other than Caden Aoki, the transfer from USC, they didn't get good pitching this past weekend or even, against Mississippi State. Mississippi State bludgeoned them. So I'm interested to see how their pitching does. I think that's the biggest key in the first round of games. Is we all know Georgia can hit. They're number 4 in the country, coming in with the number 4 offense in the country. So we know they can hit, but can they pitch? That's going to be the biggest thing. And like I said, Texas coming in with some muscle. We don't usually equate Texas offense with muscle, but we got it this year.
Eric, let's assume that the Alabama and Oklahoma games hold their current scores, and that's our field of 8.
Yeah.
When you look at teams that can possibly make a run through a loser's bracket, who do you think sets up for that?
So you mean like pitching wise? Yeah, I'd probably go with North Carolina as far as the pitching depth might go. And they were they were in the top 5 team ERA almost all season long, and God, what we saw from Caden Glauber yesterday against USC was pretty impressive too. And yeah, they kind of got in by a miracle a little bit. I thought USC was going to make it to Omaha for the first time since 2001, but yeah, I like UNC's pitching. It's one of the best staffs in the country. It has been all year, and just what we saw from Glauber on Sunday, I should say, was really impressive. And of course, they have one of the best closers in the country in Walker McDuffie too. So yeah, a little bit. If they have to go in the losers bracket, I think that's the team, that's the staff that would probably be the best fit for making a comeback.
Yeah, I love their staff, and again, I try to keep my lack of objectivity out of it. But a staff that's really close, that my partner was honking to get here, they're right there with Carolina in terms of their team ERA. It's a smidge better. Now they don't. The conference plays different, but West Virginia definitely can throw it well enough. They're resolved. They're pretty resilient. Can they score enough situationally? Like, how do you look at kind of what they bring to the table offensively compared to how they play it?
Yeah, no, this is very capable offense. I mean, they hit over 300. They were going into the super regionals. They were ranked 36th in the country in team offense, so that's nothing to sneeze at. And yeah, they caught fire in that against Cal Poly, just bludgeoned them. I mean, I used the word bludgeon for the second time in this conversation, but yeah, they just killed Cal Poly, and Cal Poly had a really underrated pitching staff, I thought. So what they did to them was pretty impressive. They rode a lot of momentum, obviously, and offense is contagious, as they say in baseball. So I like what they've got. They've got Gavin Kelly, probably going to be one of the top 5 players in next year's draft. He's just a sophomore, so he's going to be a player to watch next year. But he's going to be a great guy to have for them to keep an eye on here when they get to Omaha. But yeah, they've got a deep offense that hits over 300. So I'm not worried about them too offensively. They don't hit a ton of home runs, but they stretch singles into doubles and doubles into triples. They're one of those kind of teams.
Again, assuming scores hold, Eric, how many of the 8 teams do you think can actually win the national title?
Oh, I think all of them are capable. I'll probably pull Troy off the list, and I know this isn't fair, and I hope not a lot of their fans are hearing me right now, but we've seen teams like Troy with Stony Brook, Kent State, Oral Roberts, and Murray State, just kind of over the last 10, 12 years. They don't usually do that well once they're here, and Troy's pitching staff is probably the worst staff of the remaining 8 teams, as you said, if the scores hold with Oklahoma and Alabama. So yeah, they're a Johnny-come-lately. We love seeing them. We love the energy they brought. I think the other 7 teams, any of the other 7 teams, really could win that national title. I'm not seeing a Fresno State type of run with Troy, although they're a great story.
Let me ask you something. I'm going to get into kind of the coaching here a little bit. And listen, it was tough for Carolina to shake off the Fox that era. Forbes is kind of settled in to his zone. I want to set them aside. Schlossnagle, listen, Texas A&M, TCU, well documented. Is there a situational advantage once you get here to how these games actually play out from a decision-making standpoint?
Yeah, not really. I think at this time of year, most of the coaches kind of just say, you hear it from time to time. They say, I just show up and fill out the lineup card and let them play. This is the time of year. We've been doing this for 5 months. We just let them go. So there's not a lot of, I don't know if there's a whole lot of X's and O's that go into the College World Series once you get there. You just kind of let them play. I love what Jim Schlossnagle's done. I mean, I've always been a fan of his. I will always cheer for him, just because he's gotten 3 different teams to the College World Series now. Anywhere he goes, he's won, and he's won a lot. So I think that's kind of a big advantage, having a guy that's been there before. Mike Bianco at Ole Miss, kind of the same thing. They've been to the College World Series before. A lot of these coaches haven't been. Coach Johnson at Georgia is going to be his first trip as a head coach, so I look forward to seeing how that transpires. But yeah, no X's and O's I think are going to decide this right now. You just kind of let them rip.
Is it possible for a guy like Skip Johnson to be flying under the radar?
Kind of is, and he kind of does. I know they still have 6 or 7 innings still to play against KU. They've really dominated that series, and Skip Johnson, he's a great dude. A little under the radar. I think he's a little underrated. He's kept that Oklahoma program, going great guns. I mean, he's not let that program slip at all, and I think that kind of says something, because it's not an easy task that they've gone from the Big 12 to joining the SEC, and they're still competing. I know they lost. I think the stat is they lost their last 4 weekends in SEC play.
Yeah.
That happens. There's so many good teams there. That just kind of happens. But they've certainly caught fire, and they look like they're 7 runs ahead in this game that's going to be cranking up here again soon. So they've got a certain advantage. But yeah, I give him a lot of respect for what he's done with that Oklahoma program and keeping it vital.
Eric, we talked to a couple of our state championship winning coaches here on the show a couple weeks ago, and one of them in particular sort of mentioned that he didn't love how he handled the pitching situations in the championship game.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, obviously the tournament in general, it's regional, super regionals, it's a little bit different in terms of how you handle it. Do you think kind of managing pitching staff in the College World Series specifically can get on top of guys that haven't been there before?
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking, do these 19 to 21-year-old guys get wide-eyed once they get on the big stage? Oh yeah, I think that we've seen that happen plenty of times. Guys come in with great stats, and they just get they get blown up a little bit. That happens. I don't know how a coach fixes something like that. That's just something that happens naturally. But we see it happen just about every year at the College World Series, and it's always the team who kind of handles the pressure the best that ends up winning it, or ends up having the most success as far as getting to the finals or something. So yeah, that happens, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some big time pitcher go out to Omaha again this week and just have things kind of roll against him. That's just part of what happens when they get to Omaha.
I guess I meant a little bit more kind of the coach's ability to recognize and manage when that's happening,
to not overthink it,
to either not overthink it, to ride with your guy, to understand a guy maybe is having that wide-eyed moment early. Like, how do you think the stage affects the coaches, I guess, more specifically?
Yeah, that's, I mean, the coaches, we kind of assume they know what they're doing once they get to the stage, at least, that I think that's the case. Yeah, again, these coaches that have been here before know how to handle that situation a little bit better, but you got to have, I think in this case, coaches just kind of have to have a little bit of a short hook. You're playing your final games of the year, you're on the biggest stage. And I think it's one of those things where if you go with the guy that has the slowest heartbeat, even if it's not your ace necessarily, you got to hope that whoever's out there has to have the slowest heartbeat. And yeah, if things start to snowball against them, got to get them out of there, of course. And a lot of these coaches, I mean, a lot of these coaches that we have coming into the College World Series are pitching coaches, are based on pitching. So I think that's going to be a kind of another part of this whole puzzle that's going to be played out here.
Last one from me, kind of along those lines, whether it's the pitch clock or reviews. We talk about the 5 months and kind of knowing, but Omaha, you nailed it. There's always something that happens that is a little out of the ordinary. A lot of times it's just being at this stage. Is there a team that you like more than others in terms of handling, for lack of a better term, curveballs that always seem to pop up in Omaha?
Yeah, that's a great point, Damon. I'm going to point to Texas on that one. Again, kind of with the Jim Schlossnagle factor thrown in there, and I know they didn't make it to Omaha last year, so those players were hungry to get back this time around. They got upset in the regional round last year, actually, so by UT San Antonio. But I just like what Jim Schlossnagle has, the way he has his teams playing. A lot of times when they get to Omaha, they seem a little bit more relaxed, and he's been there so many times over the years. I think it's kind of, it's just kind of something he's used to. It's old hat to him, and so that's why they would kind of be my pick, and they would kind of be my pick for the team that could handle stress more than any of the others, I think.
That is Eric Sorensen, college baseball writer, D1 Baseball. Eric, appreciate the time as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you got it. Love the Jackie Robinson jersey in the set there too, guys. That's quality, top A stuff. Love it.
Thanks, E. Appreciate you.
You got it. Later, guys.
That is Eric Sorensen from D1 Baseball. Good stuff there as we almost have a College World Series field set. I know that, like you mentioned in that Oklahoma game, there's still quite a ways to go.
St. John is
that was in the 5th?
Yes, and I think that one's 7-2.
Yeah, and then 8-1 in Oklahoma, Kansas. That one's in the 2nd still, so got a ways to go in both of those. But pretty big leads, obviously, for each team there. And each team that has the lead is up 1-0 in that series. So I think we're going to have a pretty good idea who's going to make the College World Series here pretty shortly. But
and just like watch it all get screwed up today.
Yeah, of course. When are they going to play double headers if they? Okay,
yeah, gotta go today.
I'll say they gotta get done today because they'll leave by like Wednesday, right?
You'd think
because you got media day Thursday, so you have to be in town by Wednesday, basically.
Quick turnaround.
Fun stuff. Good for them.
Well, they can play on Saturday. It'll be fine.
They'll be all right.
Whomever it is,
it's gonna be all right. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. We will be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll see you then.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.